Covering all your sports info. You step in and stand clear. Don't score. You got Super J, Coach Kirk, and Todd, the Magnificent.
You're now tuned into Bars and Hoops Radio, where the world of hip hop and sports live.
Yeah. Hope y'all ready. What a weekend, and what a weekend it was. What a weekend in sports it was, y'all. Shout out to everybody who's rocking with us today. You already know what it is. Appreciate everybody who's tuning in and who's rocking with us today. Let's go. All right, we got everybody in the building today. What's going on, everybody? How y'all feeling?
We feeling good. Really live. Football was great.
Football was more than great. But continue on.
What you think, Serge?
Yeah, for this the Sunday was better than Saturday, but
Yeah.
it was good. It was better than the first weekend of football for sure.
Let's go.
What you think?
It was all right.
His team was knocked
Yeah,
out.
there's no Pittsburgh in there.
Nothing to celebrate
Yeah,
about.
there's no
It's
Pittsburgh
over.
in there. So.
Ain't nobody from your division left at all, man.
Yeah, Ravens is out.
Well, he don't care about
You know,
that. That's what he like.
But no, I did want another ring for the Central North. I mean for the
Really?
AFC North.
Really.
But like y'all said, and then we text each other back and forth. One of y'all said it ain't Lamar's fault this time. It ain't. It wasn't his fault.
Earlier it was.
The first half it was.
He got it down there to score, tie the game up.
What do you mean?
Yeah, but he also fumbled the
He
ball.
fumbled and he
fumbled
threw
the
an
ball.
interception. What are you talking
led
about?
to a score by
Whoa.
Buffalo, which
All right,
put
so-
them down
so
by
That's not his
11.
fault.
He brought them
And he
back.
threw a
He
bad
fumbled.
interception.
He brought them down.
I don't know
there.
what he was trying to do with that fumble,
Yeah,
man.
I know, but he brought them
Threw a
down
bad
there.
interception.
He got them down there, and you know want the players to do what they do.
Shout out to
Players
everybody
do what
who's
they
tuned
do.
in.
They was there. They had
They
the
was there.
opportunity.
They had the opportunity.
They had the
So,
opportunity.
I will
I
say
can't
this,
get
though.
mad like that.
I will say this. After watching all of the games, you see who could go to the next level and who can't.
Right,
Right.
You saw it.
Yeah.
Who has that next gear and who don't.
right.
That's true.
And at the end of the day, that's what wins you the games. Who could go to the next gear? Who's the one? And that's why I like playoffs, because at the end of the day, you know what? Football is football. People play football. They have great plays and everything like that. But can you do it when it counts?
Right.
And that's what Michael Jordan always said.
Yeah.
Can you do it when it counts? He said, I could jump from the free throw line, but could I do it when it counted?
True that.
And at the end of the day, you're starting to see that a lot of these cats can't. They listen. There's other people who have a
Who
gear.
you saying that couldn't do it?
I'm gonna have to go out on a limb, and I'm gonna have to say Lamar Jackson.
Oh, okay. I thought you was talking about Jared Goff.
Nah, Jared Goff
Jared
shouldn't.
Goff was playing on a team with one leg. They
You know-
had no defense.
No
None.
defense.
We knew that
None.
going into the playoffs.
That's true, but they was never in a situation where they was down that bad and
Yes.
they had to play catch up.
Mhm.
And they panicked when they did because of the fact that he knew and the coach knew that they were not going to stop the Commanders from doing whatever they wanted to do. Once they got behind and he threw the interceptions, that game was over because their defense was non-existent. They played against Washington, Minnesota, which to me showed how bad Minnesota really is in
Right.
Sam Darnold because they locked him down.
Yep.
Jaden Daniels didn't have that problem. They just ran up and down the field like it was legal
And-
on the Lions.
That's a fact.
And then one thing that I don't like, they was succeeding it. And that was fourth down plays, 4th and 2s.
But you know what?
They was getting them.
It's getting
So-
that's
getting
the
them.
new NFL. So I'm not even. I'm trying to put my head around it that this is the way that football is going to be from now on. Ain't nobody going to go for field goals no more. Everybody's going on 4th down. Less than 3, they're going to go every time.
Well, this is what I got to say. I thought the Lions went away from what they do best, which was run the ball. You control the clock. If you can run the ball, you can limit
Right.
Washington's offensive plays. And they ran the ball a few times, and then they said, all of a sudden, okay, I'm going to throw. And he had interceptions, making bad reads and stuff like that. You running the ball. Why you go away from it? Make them stop me. You know?
Yo, shout to John Green and shout to
part of it.
Dave on the
Huh?
check-in.
That was part of it. Too,
Yeah.
yeah.
We see Dave
They
over
did.
there. Shout to Dave, man.
They panicked, and you knew they panicked when they tried to run that Hail Mary play
yeah.
with Jameson Williams.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know.
You ain't seen them do a play like that. Not no.
I haven't seen
play.
it this year.
I mean, I like the first half when they did that little fancy lateral and then flip it to
It
the
flipped
guy.
it,
He ran.
he ran.
They've been
yeah.
doing that all year, that hook
Right.
and ladder type thing. but I don't remember seeing him throw a pass from a wide receiver. I mean, I ain't see all their games, but that to me, I knew they was panicking when they tried that pass. And then Williams, I don't know what he was doing. He just threw it up there. He didn't. It wasn't like he was looking for nobody. He was better off throwing it out of bounds.
Yeah, he was better off throwing it away.
But he didn't. So
I seen that play one time before. And no, not with them. But I have seen the receiver throw to another player, and that was Odell Beckham. He threw it to Saquon for a touchdown. I know that's of course I remember that.
Them plays happen, but I never seen Detroit.
Do it before.
To that point where they wanted to. Right, I've seen guys. Right, they ran that play in Philadelphia with they flipped it to the wide receiver, and he threw a touchdown to the quarterback. Right, and that's how Philly won their championship.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I would like to see Detroit. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. I like to see Detroit keep their team intact and come back.
Well, they already lost the offensive coordinator. He went to the Bears.
He did? Okay.
The offensive coordinator from where?
Ben Johnson from the Lions.
He's the head coach of the Bears?
The Bears now,
Wow.
Whoa, that was fast.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, you know that was going to happen. Glenn is going to be the next one. And I wouldn't be surprised if he comes to my beloved Jets. I hope that's what happens.
So and that's always going to be my problem with having that window. Is that window is not only for players, it's for coaches as well.
True that.
Them coaches ain't sticking around.
Them coordinators,
Them coordinators, they like, yo, we gonna get up out of here, we gonna get our money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, like I said, I think what Kansas City's doing is tremendous. It's like, it don't seem to matter. I mean, they got Spagnuolo, which is great on defense, but I gotta say, at the end of the day, we always talk about like how you always gotta have like your window. Mm-hmm. And that's with any professional team. You have that window where you could pull it off. 49ers window is closing. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it's closing because now they got to pay this guy.
Exactly.
They got to pay the quarterback, Brock Purdy, and that hurts them from keeping all the people that they had.
Right.
And their window is starting to close.
Mm-hmm.
You feel what I'm saying? Same thing now with the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions made it all the way up there. It's like you losing an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator. It's like you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this though. On top of that, like I said, for the weekend, you just seen who got that extra gear. Now, like you said, the Lions was hamstrung for a minute now.
Yeah.
They every time you turn around, you see another defender going down.
True.
And they lost the cornerback at the beginning of the game.
At the game, right. Yeah,
lost him for the whole game. That hurt them too because they're already beat up. And now you're losing guys on top of that.
Right.
That don't make it no better for them.
Exactly.
And I like them because they play a lot of man-to-man. And I like that they do that. You know,
but once you start getting to the second and third string.
Yeah. And not only that, but Jalen Daniels was eating them up. And Terry Glenn had to switch off that man.
Yeah.
Right. Go to zone. And he was eating that up too. But it had, like you said, when you're playing second and third string guys,
it's a wrap.
The average NFL quarterback is going to eat you up.
Yeah.
Because how many games did we see Detroit had to win 45-42?
True.
48-40.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's the offense carried that team the whole season after all them guys got hurt.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, even if they had half those cats, if they had Aiden Hutchinson, they had a couple of their secondary guys, it might have made a difference. But they lost 12 guys on defense alone.
Yeah.
For season tape injuries, not just –
it is.
even that kid Anzalone who came back, he was playing with a broken arm.
Yeah.
But he came back.
It takes your toll. I mean, as you go further and further, the better teams are going to be able to pick that part of pick it apart. Excuse me.
I think that ultimately, like you said, the defense. That's one of the reasons why, like when the Commanders won the earlier round, I was like, I mean, we all was looking like, you know what, maybe they beat Tampa,
right.
And then when they was like, oh, they're going to Detroit, I was like, they might be able to pull it off. I mean, I said it in my head. I'm like, but the more you started watching the game, you was like, it's evident. And we can't ignore the rookie QB, Jaden Daniels. We can't ignore him. He played lights out.
That he did. But the big thing I took from all of these games is you got to play a clean game in order to win. There can't be no turnovers whatsoever.
Right.
Because once you turn, that's opportunities that you giving the other team and you taking away from your own team. Mm-hmm. And every team that lost a turnover game. Not one team that won had to overcome turnovers. Because they was playing clean. Kansas City made the Texans look like an average team after the big win they had against the Chargers because the Chargers gave him 4 interceptions.
Right.
KC not making those mistakes.
So and that's actually true when you think about it, right? And if we go game by game, you see the turnover battle is where it hurts you. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you seen it. It was like, especially with the Ravens, it was in Front Street right there. Like you could turn over the ball, and that could be that. And that's been all playoffs. When Baker Mayfield fumbled the ball in the fourth quarter against that was it. That was it. They take it, we go score, and that's that. So you got to keep that in mind that it could go either way at any time. But the turnover battle, like you were saying, you got to make sure you win that. If not, you'll be in trouble. Shout out to John Green. He said, I'll give Detroit props for their gutsy play on defense. The losses just caught up with them. That is a fact.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
doubt.
Can't knock that.
Nope.
Can't knock that. But going into, like I said, players not have or who has that next gear, I hate to say it, Lamar Jackson is on Front Street this morning. He is.
Well, that window's going to be closing too, so it's a matter of time. All right.
I think they got another year too.
Pittsburgh is coming.
Yeah, they got
Be quiet, Kurt.
You say
we
quiet.
we
And Cincinnati, I'm gonna give the Bungles because they just got to show up the defense.
well,
Which
there's
means they got to
another
spend
team
money.
No, I'm just
they
saying.
lost a lot of guys during the year too.
And they got to
Yeah.
pay those wide
Their
receivers.
I
defense
understand that,
their
T.
defense
Higgins
was
and all
beat
those
up.
dudes want to get
but
paid.
they got to show it up. You know, as long as they got.
So what's the best
what's
part of
that boy name?
what's the best part of their team?
Burrows.
Yeah.
Burrows is their best part of
What
their
is
team.
no? What's the best part of their team?
The offense.
The offense.
Right.
T. Higgins wants a new contract.
I know that.
Okay, and so does
But
the other guy.
they
Shout
gotta-
to Wheeler. We
As
see
long
you.
as they hold on to Burrows,
See you,
if
Wheeler.
they're good enough to find receivers, they can find receivers. They just need to want it because if Burrows is gone, it's over.
So
You know what I'm saying?
shout to
I agree with
Cliff.
that.
Shout to Cliff Wheeler. He said Lamar got 5 more years. Are you crazy?
No, Lamar
The team
has.
itself.
Are
The
you
team.
kidding me?
The
I
team.
agree with him with the Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the Ravens in general.
So,
I agree with him with the Lamar part. You know what I'm saying?
but that's the cornerstone, and that's
Yes.
why I think they window's gonna be open a lot longer. But I really, after watching that game, and after watching their collapses in the playoffs,
Right.
I'm starting to wonder how effective Harbaugh is. I mean, like, I'm really starting to question that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you really got to shout to my guy Tone. You really got to start questioning that.
Well, he don't have the. He doesn't have the. I don't think his resume is as bad as people look at him when you compare.
Harbaugh?
Yeah.
Nah, they in the play. It seems like they in the playoffs every year.
Right. But
But-
see, because you know what? You know who I'm always comparing him to.
Right,
I'm
right.
comparing him to Tomlin. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't look at Harbaugh as the way I look at Tomlin.
Because that's your
Tomlin
team.
been in the playoffs and had winning records.
Yeah,
for
but that's
years
your
too.
team. So of course you're going to look at them
Right,
differently.
right. I'm looking at him with a little bias because I'm looking at Harbaugh as he's still good to me. He's still fine.
But
to
the
me.
main difference is your team doesn't have that caliber
We-
of quarterback,
right. We don't have that.
Or
We
you don't have the
Lamar.
offensive weapons that they have.
Well,
Right.
I think Derrick Henry changes everything.
yeah,
obviously.
you do.
You know what I'm saying? He changes everything.
Okay, that's another
on that
thing
team.
I want to bring up. Do you think because of the seasons that Saquon and Derrick Henry had,
Yes.
it's going to make these teams look at running backs differently?
Yeah. And you know what? Not only them, look at Detroit Lions. Look at Gibbs.
Right.
He was running like a madman possessed
Yeah, but what do you mean by looking at them differently? What do you mean?
because they wasn't paying them.
They wasn't paying them.
Okay, I see what you mean.
See, I think at the end of the day, they forgot how important the run game is.
Yeah, because that's what I was getting at. I'm
Right.
like, I know running. You need that running game.
Mhm.
You need it.
You need it. Period.
But a lot of people don't see that one player could get it done. And you
Right,
know what? You
right.
got to fault a lot of different teams. They feel like they could do it by committee.
Right.
I'm sorry, Serge. What's good?
The problem with the running back position is all prevalent on whether your offensive line is good or not.
True that.
Because as good as Saquon looked this year, he wasn't that guy on
And
the
the
Giants. He was not that same player because of the fact that he didn't have that line to run behind. Jamal Gibbs, another guy. He's playing behind the best offensive line in football on the Detroit Lions. And Derrick Henry, he's just Derrick Henry.
Right,
It
he
don't
Henry.
matter.
Right,
He can play
kinda
behind
don't matter,
any line.
right.
He's
Right.
going to get
He's a
1,500
big dude.
yards. He's just going to get it because that's just who he is.
Right.
Because he was with the Titans, and the Titans, I don't know how great their offensive line was back then, but he was still a man. and he's still a man at Baltimore, and their offensive line is a little better more than likely than the Titans was. But still, he's just that guy. But there's a lot of cats that I don't know. It's just the NFL is too predicated on the passing game.
Yeah. Well, it really is. If you commit to building up your offensive line, which is what Dallas used to do back in the day when they had what's the running back?
Emmett?
No, after him. The other guy. He came back to shit with Dallas. Ezekiel Elliott. They had a good offensive line. So, he could just plug and play.
Yeah, yeah.
Because even when he went down, the other guy, the backup guy.
DeMarco Murray.
To that is, how many championships did the Cowboys win with Ezekiel Elliott being as great as he was?
Well, that comes to play with the mistakes they made. It's not his fault. He ain't throwing the ball.
But that's the whole thing. He's not throwing the ball, so he's not going to get you over the hump.
No,
you need that guy who's throwing the ball, flinging it to get you over the hump.
No, don't get me wrong.
The running back is a supplement. That's just like an extra. If you got a good running game, because even with as good as the Eagles look, Jalen Hurts looks terrible right now.
He's not. Yeah, he's not.
If it wasn't for 3 60-yard runs, that game would have been a totally different.
But he's never.
But
but he's never been this bad.
No, he got injured. He did get injured during the game.
Yeah, he had a concussion. But even 2 weeks ago,
was it the concussion?
No, he had a concussion.
There's been talk about him. There's been talk about him before this.
I think, but you know what though? Let's be honest here. I still don't think Jalen Hurts is that crazy caliber of quarterback. But
I don't either.
The thing is, do you need it when you have these performers at these positions? You got AJ Brown over here, you got Devonta Smith over here, and when you in trouble, you got those performers.
How many catches AJ Brown had yesterday?
I think he had I think he had like 3. I ain't gonna front.
And it wasn't that many.
And Devontae Smith, how many? Did he
I
have
ain't even hear his
name?
I ain't even hear his name.
But because of the fact that they was able to open up them holes for Saquon, it make everything else look like it's okay.
And this
but it's not.
Because
if you got a team that can play defense and they shut down that particular part, is Jalen Hurts going to be able to carry you to the championship?
And you know what? We're going to find out, though.
That's what I'm going to say. Coming next week against the Ravens is a totally different defense.
The Commanders.
Yeah, the Commanders. It's a totally different defense.
Listen.
So even they not that good.
No, but now Jalen might look like a superstar because of that.
I don't think he's that good of a quarterback. Anyway.
No, I understand that, but the level of defense will make him. The level of defense could make him look better now.
You think out of all the quarterbacks that are left, where would you put him at? 4 quarterbacks left. Where would you put him?
He'd probably be number 4.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, he'd probably.
He'd probably be number 5. The way he's playing. Come on now, let's be honest.
Because I'm thinking about it.
He's not as good as the guys that got knocked out.
You know what's funny? As bad as Josh Allen, and I'm not gonna say he played bad because he didn't make any mistakes and he scored a couple of touchdowns, but he didn't have to fling that ball around yesterday. And he had less than 100 yards passing out there. It wasn't no crazy figure.
Well, they was able to run the ball.
Right. And they would run the ball and they was controlling it.
Right.
And that worked for them.
That worked.
But normally that's not how they win.
Right.
He's usually hitting 8 different guys 2 or 3 times a game.
And part of that,
but
like I said,
do that
they was able to run the ball and control the game. And part of that because the mistakes the Ravens was making, giving them good position. They was going down the field. They was moving the ball. Then they make mistakes. I was like, Jesus, man, y'all don't want this game.
But I mean, if we got to talk about the game itself in general, right? Let's talk about, like you said, let's start with the Detroit Lions versus the Commanders. So prior to that, our outlook was what? What was your pick for that game? Detroit. What was your pick for that? You picked the man?
Me and Todd picked the I picked Commanders because
we might have to go to the videotape.
I'm going to have to look at this paper here. Wait a minute, man.
He picked it because he said, I'm going to go with you, Todd.
No, he was picking because
that's what you said. You go back and look on the film.
That's not why I picked him. I praised Jalen the whole year, and I didn't respect Detroit the whole year.
So you put a lot of money down on
respect Detroit the whole year?
Right? You put a lot of money down on Washington yesterday?
Because you'd have been filthy.
He did say the Redskins.
Yeah, I know he did because Todd said, he said, yeah, I'm going to go with Todd.
So here's the thing,
That's exactly
right?
what he said. I'm going to go with Todd.
Just giving a recap of that game, which was, to me, it was a good game. Like I said, David versus Goliath. It definitely had that feel, but I ain't going to lie. It's hard to say who was David and who was Goliath because they went up in there and smacked the hell out of these guys, man. And like you said, the defense that played a big factor. Goff was another factor.
Yeah.
He was like, every time I turn around, it was an interception. I was like, yo, what is this guy looking at? There was one interception in particular where literally he threw it to a crowd of Commanders players. I'm like, what was he thinking?
Yeah.
3-1.
I texted, who's he throwing it to?
Chop the wheeler. He said he picked him as well.
But like you
Well, he
said,
went the
did it
wrong
matter
ways.
back? It
I
didn't
think
matter
that was
by
the one
that
that
time.
Williams threw.
It didn't matter by that time.
So I was
that
no,
late
The late one didn't matter, but the first one where they ran it back for a touchdown.
Yeah,
that hurt.
Anytime you give up a pick six,
That hurt.
that's gonna hurt your team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
he
that-
did
that-
too.
He did throw that pick six, and that's where the panic started because
Yes.
now you're behind. And like I said, in their mind, they knew that defense was not going to stop nothing. They was a sieve. They was anything that Washington
But
wanted
the
to
thing
do,
about-
they was doing.
The
And it's
thing
true.
about it
Come
though
on now.
is,
Yeah.
They had
the
nothing.
thing about it
Nothing.
though is, they did stop them, but they chose to go for it on fourth down
No.
all those
Oh,
times.
well, no, okay, and even that,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to go back to two plays that killed them as far as I'm concerned. There was a 4th and 2,
Mhm.
and Terry and Arnold, instead of keeping the edge, he went for the fake with the handoff, and he went in and let Jaden Daniels just run right little 2
Right,
yards
yeah, I
right
remember.
past
Right.
him.
I remember that.
Then they had 4th and 2 at the
Pass
goal
interference.
line. No, and they had 12 guys on the
Oh, yeah,
field.
that's that.
That
Right,
was
yeah.
How could you
The
be
guy
that
was trying to get him
stupid?
more. I remember
Right.
they were showing their coach.
You got 12 guys on the field on a 4th and 2. You gave them a
And he's
touchdown.
looking like, yo, what's up? Like,
Because you never know what happens on a
Right.
play.
Yeah.
Fourth,
they
maybe
gave
you
him a
stop
first
them.
down, and then
But they
ran
just
it in.
automatically gave him a first down. You knew
Yeah.
it was over then.
Right.
So-
Like, how stupid can you be?
So
You
do you,
can't count to 12?
Tom Brady? If y'all was watching the game, I was watching it through Channel 5,
Okay.
I believe, and Tom Brady was like, "Call the timeout, call the timeout,
Right,
call
right,
the timeout,
right,
call the
right,
timeout."
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I'm cracking up because I'm like, we
You
all
all
see
see
it, and nobody ain't doing nothing about it.
Right.
But
Right.
again, you got to ask: is Campbell like? Where was Campbell? Where was Dan Campbell at this moment? Was he so into the game he didn't see? Like,
Right.
there's a lot of oversight that was.
And
that
then you got
happened in
guys
this
up,
game.
you got guys up top too. Like you got guys
Right.
looking down.
The defensive coordinator
Yeah,
should
these
be up
guys
there.
are looking.
Yo,
Somebody should have been saying, get somebody off the
Right,
field.
call timeout.
And they were
something.
saying there was so many, the crowd noise was
So loud.
And it was because that was a critical point in the
Mhm.
game. It was a fourth quarter.
Yeah,
A big play. The crowd is going crazy.
Mhm.
But still, you should be able to see that and
That's,
grab
that's
a ref.
something that's supposed
Even if
to
you
be
got to
known.
grab the ref
Yeah.
physically and tell him
Right,
time
Yeah,
out.
run
You
on the
gotta do
field, do
something.
something.
well, I
Right.
tell you what.
You can't allow that.
When you hear Tom Brady
God,
saying
that
it and he's the commentator,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
you got a problem. Tom
Yeah, that
Brady's
was-
like,
that
time
was-
out,
that was-
time
that was
out,
a
time
problem.
out. I said, look at this here.
Those 2 fourth down plays, they could have had some kind of a
Yeah.
different outcome if they'd
Yeah.
have played it right or if they had 11 guys instead of 12.
Yeah.
Stupid penalty.
So those are, like you said, penalties, turnovers.
Turnovers and the penalties.
pick
was the-
sixes.
That was it. 5 turnovers in that game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Detroit.
Yeah.
But I feel like Eckler too. The running game for
Right,
Washington,
Right.
he was running.
You
Yeah,
running
but that's
hard.
what I'm saying.
But
They,
the defense ain't
Washington could do anything they wanted to.
Yeah.
These guys, they don't have nobody. They got
When-
third string guys,
when
some
you
of them
doing-
playing.
And
You're
yeah, they
doing
was
4th and
practice
2.
squad cats.
there.
I
When you're
can't
doing
forget.
4th
Yeah,
and
it's
2s and
crazy.
you got chip shot field goals,
Mhm.
they don't respect
Right. They're not scared because they know
Right, I can get it. We can get it.
we gonna
Right.
get this. It
That's
don't matter.
no
We're gonna get
respect.
this. And they got almost everyone except one, I think.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think they got stopped one time.
yeah,
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely was a eye opener, man. I was like, oh man. I feel like Detroit, like I said, we went up in there. You figured Detroit was gonna have a dogfight, but they was gonna win. But the defenders being out been hindering them the whole year. Like
whole year.
Serge
Yeah,
was saying.
yeah.
It been hindering them, and you know how that goes.
But they've been winning the games.
yeah, but you
Finally
always
caught up to
Yeah,
them.
but
Yeah, well-
didn't they lose to Buffalo 48-42?
Yeah, they
or
lost
something?
to
Yeah,
Buffalo.
shootout.
Yeah, so I
They
mean,
lost to Tampa Bay
it-
early
it-
on,
it-
20-16 or something like that.
yeah, but that was
That was
when they had their defense, and they was
Yeah.
one of the top defenses in the
Yeah,
league.
that was
Right.
early.
Once the defense fell apart, they
That's
was
when the
winning
shootouts
games where
were
they had to score over 35 points to win
Right.
games.
And they was
Right.
scoring over
Yeah, they was
35.
scoring.
They was
They-
putting
they
40
was
up. They put 50 up twice.
But they never was in a situation where they felt like they couldn't make a stop.
right.
And I think yesterday, in my heart of heart, That's why Dan Campbell was on the sideline teary-eyed because he knew. He was like, we can't win this game because we can't stop them. No
Right,
matter
and
what
then-
we
and-
do,
and
we're
what
not
you-
going to stop
And you
them.
know what's so funny? That could play a part into. I didn't
Got
even.
a call.
I didn't even keep counting of how many catches on the field
What time?
because it's so cool.
455,
It's 4:57.
457.
Are we gonna be tough about this?
No, Kurt's going to answer.
No, I have to let you. Not what you
Call back in 3 minutes.
5 o'clock, y'all.
Wait
5
till 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, y'all.
5
o'clock.
We changing things up a little bit.
Can you see what it is?
I don't know the number. 470. Is that Mac?
Go ahead, hit it. What the-
8121.
I hate
Something
to.
like that.
We're gonna have to.
Well, he hung up.
Oh, you hung up.
If it's
He'll
2-1,
call
then
back.
yes.
So here's my thing. So
After
now,
5. After 5.
so that was one game. Now we're talking about Kansas City versus the Texans. Okay,
Right.
we kind of already knew. At least I did where this was going. I
We
think
all
everybody
picked
here
that. We
picked
all
Kansas
picked
City.
Right.
Yeah.
However, do you give now the big thing with this game was the late hits, the calls,
Right.
was the refs giving them the game.
Right.
And I gotta say, watching the game, there was one in particular where Patrick Mahomes was scrambling, and he decides to not go out of bounds.
Right.
Right? He could have went out of bounds. He doesn't. He stopped. He turned, tried to get a couple more yards, and right before these guys collapse on him, he slides. Bow.
Right.
He hit him.
Mhm.
He hit him with a late. And don't get me wrong, Patrick Mahomes is out here selling it too.
True.
He's
He is.
selling it. He
is.
get hit. He flail his
Right,
arms.
right, LeBron's
You know what I'm saying? My thing is, at what point do we start changing this rule of late hit? Because I saw some other late hits where I was like, yo, if you hit Patrick Mahomes like that, you be out the league. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it was, what was it? Was it Jaden Daniels who was running out? And they creamed him like coming towards the end of it. Boom. And I said, yo, whoa, you do that to Patrick Mahomes? The whole side of the defensive
But Jaden
coordinator
Daniels
getting
don't
fired.
slide much, man. He don't slide much.
But still, that is the perception that Kansas City gets all the calls. And he, like he was saying, that call that they made,
That first one,
the two guys hit each other.
Yes.
They didn't really hit Patrick
Right,
Mahomes,
right.
but they
Right.
hit each other,
Right.
and it looked like somebody might have touched him, but they didn't,
But they did.
and they still got the call.
And they
But
And
the
that's what a
first
lot
one,
of people hate.
I
is
thought the
fact
guy
that
came
Kansas City
right
gets all
below
those
the helmet. The
calls.
first one.
Yeah,
but my thing is like, at what point are they gonna like,
Say
all right,
you was attempting to slide.
are you a runner? I mean, don't get me wrong. The one I saw with Jada, he was like out of bounds.
right.
That's a little
Yeah,
different.
that's out of bounds.
The man running out of bounds and you just cream him. Boom. That's
Yeah,
that's
but
one
even
thing.
even
Because it's still
the
inbound.
referee, the expert referee, was saying that the reason they didn't make that call was because he had already started making the tackle inbounds,
Right.
and it went into the out
Went
of
into-
bounds. So
okay,
that-
right,
he
you're
did
say
allowed
that.
to finish the
Yeah.
tackle.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
he did
So
say
that's
that.
why they didn't put to the flag, even though it looked blatant. But the thing, and I text this in the group, when it comes to Kansas City,
Mhm.
you got to go in there and you got to destroy them.
Yes.
Because if that game is close, any kind of close,
They
they're
got
going to
the
get
ball
that
last.
call. They're going to get that call on 4th and 10, where they're going to get a call that's worth 15 yards.
That's a fact.
Because somebody's going to be held or Mahomes is going to get tapped or whatever. So you got to go in there and you got to beat, like I said, you got to beat the Chiefs and you got to beat the rest. You got to beat both of them crews.
Yeah.
If you don't, you done. And that's why Kansas City wins a lot of these close games. Not only that they're good and they don't make mistakes,
Right.
it seems like they get help. A lot of times, if you watch the games, it always seems like there's a call that everybody's shaking their head like, how did that call happen?
Right.
Oh, and the other thing is, every idiot defensive coordinator in the league doesn't understand that you have to triple team
Kelsey. Oh my God.
You cannot leave Kelsey open
Nope.
the way they do. This guy's falling down, throwing the ball, and everybody in the world knew who he was throwing it to,
Right.
and he still made that throw and still made the
Still
catch.
it. Yeah.
Kelsey, ain't nobody else scaring you on that team.
No.
Right.
That's true.
It's got to be one in front of him, one behind him.
Exactly.
Got to be,
all
man.
day long.
But you know what the tight end is a crazy position because it's like it could look like he's blocking at first, like he's like, and
Right.
then he just
I mean, yeah, how many
He
times you see
fades out.
Kelsey blocking? Come on, Kelsey don't be blocking that much. Kelsey's going out, doing running a run.
I mean, but you can't, they
I
could
get
use
what
that
you're
to their
saying.
advantage. They could be like, yo, you know what? They think he's gonna block. Okay, now he scrambles out, or they think you're gonna scramble out, block. It's like
Yeah, but my
they
thing
selling
is-
it.
Okay, it's just like you playing against Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen or even Jane Daniels, you got guys that are spies.
Yes.
Their whole job, most of the
To watch
game,
Mahomes.
is to watch that guy. Why wouldn't you spy Kelsey? You know he's your only real threat. You're not spying Worthy. You're not spying who's the
Pacheco
other
or
kid
the
they
running
picked
backs.
up. Who they picked up? The wide receiver.
I know. I can't remember his
Can't
name.
remember who it is.
I know who you're
the
talking about.
veteran they
Right.
picked up. They're not Hopkins.
Right.
They're not spying these guys. You
Hopkins was another
got to
guy.
spy Kelsey. I don't
Right.
care. No matter what, every game in a big moment is always Mahomes to Kelsey.
That's a fact.
Always.
And you know
Shout
what?
to Parker.
It's like when what was the coach? When Gronkowski and Brady was playing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you had, Belichick. You know your role. Stick to your role.
Right.
Don't divert off the plan. You know what I'm saying? Caps is already playing
Right.
they're already going after Mahomes. Don't get off Kelsey or another receiver to help go after Mahomes because you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, I
gonna
take
throw
my
to the
chances on
open
another
man.
receiver beating me.
Right,
Kelsey
another
can't
receiver.
beat
Kelsey
me.
can't.
I mean,
that's
but
what I'm
about it.
saying.
Can you take the chance with Hopkins? Though? You think
Hopkins is not.
He was a
don't have-
non-factor
Bro,
yesterday.
I'ma
Let's
say-
be honest.
I'ma
Did
say-
he even play?
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say
No,
this.
I don't remember even hearing his
I'ma
name
say
yesterday.
this. When you
Maybe
got
once
a-
or twice.
When you have a quarterback at the caliber of Mahomes,
Uh-huh.
he's gonna make that throw to Hopkins if you leave him.
And that's
And Hopkins gonna catch that pass.
and see that's my
So
thing.
why not? You don't think Hopkins was open all game?
No, I'm just saying I'm just saying if you know your role, you stick with your man. You let the D line and
I get what
go
you're saying.
after them.
Well,
You know
first of
what
all,
I'm saying?
I
You
don't think Hopkins has that speed to break away from anybody right now. He's tall. He can make if you throw it up high enough, he can get there.
Right.
But he don't have.
He don't need that if you just trying to get the first down. That's what
I was
I'm
about to
saying.
say, and not for
But
nothing.
he didn't do that. They
No,
didn't go
I'm
to him
just-
at all.
Right, but like he said, he didn't have to because, like you said, Kelsey's open.
Kelsey was
And you
open
throwing the
every
Kelsey.
big play.
Right,
Kelsey was
right.
open.
So therefore, I ain't got to make
And I'm
that
looking
throw.
like, hey, ain't nobody near this
Right.
guy, man.
I don't have
Mahomes-
to make that throw. to
Mahomes
Hopkins.
completed 16 passes on Saturday. 10 of them was to
Kelsey.
and Gray, the two tight ends.
Right.
Worthy had 5. Kareem Hunt had 1. And Hopkins, I don't even see his name on stat sheet, which means he didn't touch the field.
Right.
So
Yo, that's crazy, man.
you don't. I mean, and as Worthy, yeah, you got to worry about him more on those trick plays where they running around
Right,
the end,
yeah.
or they trying to get him a little screen, wide receiver screen because of his speed.
Right.
But he's not a guy that you have to worry
No.
about downfield because
That-
as fast as he is, he still doesn't make the catches
No.
the way he
he
should.
don't.
No.
He's got to get his hands better.
Right.
So there's no real threat out there except one,
Right.
and that one keeps beating everybody.
Right. And he had over 100 yards. Didn't he have
Because
100 yards?
Even
Cool.
when
Kelsey.
you was talking about Gronk,
Yeah, he had
when
117.
Gronk was on the thing, they still had Wexler,
Right.
and
Well,
they still
well,
had
well,
the
Hernandez.
other guy, Edelman.
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 And the running back comes
He had
out.
Moss
Right.
a few times,
Right.
so he had threats.
Yeah,
You
other
don't-
weapon.
Right, he had other weapons, but Gronk was still the big weapon. But you had to respect
Right.
the other weapons.
Yeah.
Right.
You ain't got to respect these guys. As far as I'm concerned, you don't.
And that's
because
what
they-
happened with because I
You
know
don't
he was
respect them until they beat you.
That's like
Right,
what's
right.
his name on the Ravens? Andrews was open in the second half. They started going to him,
Oh man,
and he was there. He
we're
was
gonna
open.
jump into that game. too.
Oh, okay. Well, we're
We're
talking
gonna
about
jump
But
into
that's
that
what I'm
game.
saying. Like,
right.
if you got that caliber quarterback, and you got to leave him no choice
Right.
but to throw to the B level guy, or the
Make him
second
make a
option.
play.
Right.
The second
Make him go
option.
to
Right,
another
right.
option.
Right. You gotta give him no choice.
Right.
But see, that's why I feel like at the end of the day, Kansas City is just really that good at either disguising their plays
Right. Right.
or like Patrick Mahomes is just that good where he's just able to get them the ball.
Yeah, he's that
Because
good.
he
is that
really make it happen. That's
Right.
why I'll be like, yo, like you watch him, a turnover is you rarely see him turn the ball over.
Right.
If it is, it's because either the receiver wasn't ready or he was just straight up forcing. And even then, he still gets these plays, man. It's like to me, he's always he's gonna be the factor.
Right.
He is it.
He's
He
a-
is it. Like
he-
you can't. He's hard. That Kansas City will forever be hard to beat because of him.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of
and,
him.
and the fact that as a team, all together, they don't make mistakes.
Right. Don't make mistakes.
Right.
They
They're
are
fundamental.
right. They are
Yeah.
fundamentally sound, and especially in playoff time,
Mhm.
because you find he throws interceptions during the regular
In
season,
the regular season,
but
yeah,
when
he
it
did
comes
this year,
time
yeah.
for the money,
Mhm.
he ain't making that kind of mistake.
And once he starts
Right.
scrambling
especially in a
around,
big moment.
yeah,
Right,
He's
right.
just not making
scrambling
that.
around,
So again, we get
Right.
to that gear. You got those guys that go into that next gear.
right.
And again, now we could step into the Bills versus the Ravens. Again, was this Lamar's fault? It was like first off, it was a team loss. Let's
Right.
not just blame one
Right.
play, right? But does Lamar have that gear? Does Jackson have that gear? I mean, like regular season, he's running it.
If they had tied the game, I could have took him over. But because his turnovers earlier in the game put them behind where they had to come down and score.
Yes,
They were moving the ball and they kept having turnovers or whatever that set them back.
yes.
Because they was able to move the ball up and down the field, and this stuff happened. The Mark Andrews when he fumbled the ball,
That was a big turnover.
it was a big turnover, and
talk
they were
about
moving
that,
the
Coach.
ball. They
I mean,
were
you talk
moving
about
the
that,
ball.
sir. The
Yeah,
turnovers.
the turnover, but the big one was like you said when Lamar fumbled.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that was a 10-point swing.
It
Because they
was.
was going
It
in
was.
field goal position at least, and he lost that ball, and then they was in a position to score a touchdown.
Mhm.
And you got down 11
Yep.
instead of being down 4
Right.
at the half. You was down 11 now,
So here's
and that was
also
a big difference in the game.
Mhm.
my problem with also is that Derrick Henry only got 16 attempts. Though.
That's
What happened there?
and they was gashing him. I don't understand that either. I don't understand that either.
Again, calling the game. Like, what are you doing? Especially at a point where it's freezing, it's snowing. One of the turnovers that Lamar Jackson had, where they picked it up and ran it back. He
Well,
was
you know-
he was waffling around
Mhm.
with the football like a loaf of bread,
A lo-
and you can't do that when it's wet outside.
A lot of it in the second half, maybe not so much the first half because the game was still a little tight. But in the second half, you down 11, you don't have time to do running game because that takes up clock.
Right.
You got to move faster.
Right.
And they was moving faster, and they did come back, and they could have tied the game up. But the thing that I'm thinking, because I look and I say, okay, they tied the game.
Yes,
You still got a minute and a half left.
Yep.
And Buffalo had timeouts.
right.
We seen Mahomes in 15 seconds take him in the field goal
Right.
territory.
You're right.
And this is Josh Allen, who's 1-2 with Lamar for MVP of the season.
Yes.
Are we really thinking that Baltimore was going to stop Josh Allen from getting into field goal range
No.
in a minute and a
I
half?
didn't think so.
I think even if they tied it, they probably would have ended up losing it because it was too much time left on the clock for Buffalo not to score again.
Mm.
Yeah, but
That's what
yeah,
I
but-
believe.
Yeah, but that's that you get. Obviously you
That's
want to
actually a
tie the
good
game.
point.
Yeah, you do want to
So,
tie the
so,
game.
so you can't
Right.
you can't worry about
No, I get
it's
That's
a
true.
minute and change left on the.
No, you can't. But I'm just saying,
it. Still
more
had
than
time.
likely, he
They
had
had
enough
time.
Hey,
time
I'll
to do
take.
what he had to do.
Well, we always have
Because-
to. We'll always
because-
take our chances on that. and
Because
hope that he
now,
fumbled and throw
now
an
you
interception.
didn't score, and your hopes is on an onside kick, which has only been recovered 3 out of
Like
150
26,
times or whatever
right.
it was.
Oh, that's
So,
because the
you
ball
can't-
was dropped. That's because the 2-point conversion was dropped.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
that's why.
now you stuck in no
Yeah,
man's
yeah,
land.
yeah.
So now we're gonna talk about that.
And the rules suck
gonna-
on
we
that.
gonna
too.
talk
the rules
about
suck
the-
on that. But
the-
anyway, go ahead.
There was 2 plays by Andrews that hurt the team, right? Now, obviously, the team wouldn't be there without Andrews, right? He had a couple great plays too.
Right, he did.
He had a, but my question is people are gonna blame Lamar. They're gonna blame Lamar Jackson.
But you know that the quarterback is either going to get all the glory or he's going to get
All the blame.
And the main focus of that to me has always been Eli Manning when they beat the unbeaten New England Patriots. He was the MVP, and they wasn't really doing anything on offense against that team.
No.
But the defense, that defensive line was harassing the hell out of Tom Brady that
Mhm.
whole day, and they didn't get not a cent. Nobody even gave him a whiff of being MVP.
Not at all.
When we all know in the past we've seen defensive players win the MVP because the defense was more of an effect than the
Mhm,
offense was. So it all goes back to that. The quarterback is the one who wins or loses, no matter how many other guys is on the field.
Mm.
It always falls on them to either win or lose.
True.
And unfortunately for Lamar, he's got this streak where they can't get over the hump. So everybody look at him as being great, and then they give him a side eye look because he can't get to the big
To
one.
big games, right?
So, I mean, it's
It is
a
tough.
Can't win situation for quarterback.
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like when you look at Lamar Jackson, like I said, you see the plays, you see him play during the season. I just feel like the game calling was just.
Sometimes that plays a part too.
I just don't understand how you don't run. I get it that
More
they was
often.
behind. I
Right.
do, but even before that,
Right.
give Henry the ball. Like, I mean, like you said, this dude's a bruiser, man. It's cold outside. You know, the more he runs into these guys, they're not gonna want to tackle him no
Right.
more, man.
Right.
Like, it's cold, man.
And it'll
Like,
be fourth quarter by the time they give up. They be done
Right.
gave it up.
right.
Fourth quarter, they don't want that hit no more.
Hell no, you don't want that smoke. I mean,
Right.
here you go again.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, now you
Right.
going low on
They
him
be
now.
side tackling.
Shoestring
Like,
tackle.
Right.
Here,
Yeah.
try to trip him before he
He's one of them running backs that fall forward every
Yeah.
time.
So it's like I'm not really grasping like how and that really sets up the rest of your game. You got a run game now. They can't fill up the box. Listen. Even if they try to blitz, now you got your receivers. You got Bateman. You got these guys.
Right.
It's like they got away from that, and it's like they let the Bills take them out of their zone. Because the cold weathers, they in Baltimore too. They up there. They played in cold
Yeah, they
weather
know.
before.
Right, yeah.
So it's like, what was the
weather
real
shouldn't be
problem?
the problem, right?
Shout to John Green, said same thing with Peyton Manning. Like, you know, like Serge is saying, heavy is the head that wears the crown. You know what I mean? But I will say, at the end of the day, that was one of the main things that I didn't like. Now, Josh Allen, like you said, he had 127 yards passing. That's crazy.
That's some crazy.
Where Lamar had 254 yards. I mean, when you think about it, right? It's like, come on. I don't know. It's ugly. Cook, they did rushing by committee, and you know, Josh Allen also had his 10 attempts, 20 yards. He scored 2 touchdowns rushing. You know what I mean? Like, listen, we said it before, we said it again. When it came to the MVP race, the difference between him versus Lamar Jackson versus Saquon Barkley or whoever else is in running for it is the fact that Josh Allen's out there doing it with not too many people on his team.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like
You can't really name. I can't really name the wide receivers on Buffalo. I don't know none of them.
You got Shakir, who went crazy.
Everybody knows Shakir, but that's it.
That's
You
it.
Look at the names. I mean, they really ain't names. The
So-
tight ends of Kincaid and Knox, they had 2 catches between the 2 of them.
Right.
So they're not weapons.
Right.
But he hit 8 different receivers during the game.
So
I mean,
I just think that at the end of
that's
the
what
day,
he's been doing all year. Like
Yeah.
I say, he'll hit 8 guys 2 and 3 different times a game. But you rarely ever see one guy have a game where it's 8 catches, 150 yards. Not for the Bills. It doesn't happen like that for them. They're a committee, and it's only a committee because of Josh Allen. Because he's the talent that makes that whole drink stir.
Right.
yeah, he just makes it happen. So it's that gear. It's
Right.
going into that gear again. So
Right.
now we're gonna jump into the next game, and we talked about it a little bit. The LA Rams versus Philly. This is like I said, it's another game where another gear.
Right. Well,
They was in trouble. They was in trouble, in my opinion.
Oh,
Especially once Jalen Hurts, like he was complaining his knee. and,
yeah.
You know, and then when it started snowing, it's like, yo, that changes everything.
but remember, it could change for
Both teams.
but it could change for.
But they were coming down the field on them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why it's important.
That's part of that prevent defense. I can't stand that
Right,
either.
but that's what.
And
that's,
Philly don't. You don't think so?
No, I hate that prevent.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I don't like
stand
it.
it.
Prevent a field
But
goal,
Philly
score a
don't
touchdown.
send extra guys.
That's
They
what
don't do
prevent
that
defense
much.
I can't stand that.
But
I-
see, the thing about it is, that's why you got to get that lead. You know the flurries is coming.
Right, yeah.
You better have a lead before it become heavy.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's when the ball, like you said, ball is slippery. You dropping
Right.
passes.
You know how many games the Jets lost like that? They had the lead in the fourth quarter, and teams just go down the field on them and score.
normal.
But I think
Yeah, well, they check you
I
out.
think ultimately
That's a laugh at, man.
when you look at when you look at Saquon Barkley though, again, 205 yards. He did have some big chunk plays like he normally do. He had 2 of them that he especially ran in for a touchdown. But
Jalen Hurts had the other one.
And Jalen Hurts had the other one.
Right.
The only thing though is that it never stops for Saquon. It's not like okay, he gonna be the guy that if he gets free, he gonna get 10 yards. He be getting free.
Right.
Mhm.
He be finding them holes.
Right.
Even
Yeah.
the last one, I was like, yo, about time. He really wasn't cutting in the snow. He was doing more straight up running
Mhm.
because that's just what the snow was allowing. It's like you really can't do
make the
anything.
cuts. You couldn't
But
make those cuts.
That one that he did though, he bounced into the offensive line and then,
Took off.
Mhm.
and I mean they couldn't catch him.
Right. He's gone.
That's it. He
Yeah.
gone, man. He looked like a couple of these cats running from Trump out here, man. He was like this. I'm gone. I was like, yo, look at this cat, man. You gotta say to yourself, right? It gotta come down to a point where you gotta give him the ball. And I know AJ Brown and them hate that.
Yeah, because they're not getting.
Because they're not getting, but you're winning.
That's all that counts. Sure.
You're winning.
But
Can't
they-
be mad at
They
that.
thinking about their numbers and what it means for
Contracts and
a
stuff.
contract thing. But
I think that ultimately the Eagles, as long as Jalen, because they didn't really say what was wrong with his knee, right? I didn't hear anything as
Nah, I
far as
didn't
like
hear
what
nothing.
type of injury.
I know
or
his
the
knee
other.
went back on the tackle.
Right. It was big back.
Ooh, and you already know those hyper-extended,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That could tear something.
Yeah.
That could
Well, he
tear
was able
something.
to come back in the game, so it
Yeah,
wasn't.
he came back in. He played. And I think honestly, I believe Pickens is backup, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Kenny
believe
Pickens?
Pickens could have handled that
Yeah.
game. I believe me personally.
Nah,
I think he could have.
He
handled
likes.
it.
Nah,
likes
I'm a-
Kenny Pickett.
you like? Oh, right,
I
I
like him,
forgot.
I'm just saying,
Oh, I
he-
forgot.
I think he could. I think he could have. Handled
He's a Pittsburgh guy, ain't he?
I
that. Yeah,
think
but that don't mean I think he could have handled that.
Nah,
I
he
watched
could-
a few of his other
he
games.
couldn't have handled that
I
game.
think he could.
The Rams defense is serious.
Yeah, but I think he could.
I tell you what, the Rams defenses were, even though they lost, it still was
Right,
kind
they-
of keeping them in the game.
He was
because-
keeping it. They
Yeah.
was sacking them. Shit.
Yeah.
They had a chance to win it at the end.
Yeah.
They made too many errors at the end of the game.
Yeah.
They fell apart at
How-
the worst
How
possible
was
moment.
Washington and Philly during the season?
So they was 1-1.
1-1. Okay.
So
Oh,
Washington beat Philly
At home or in Philly?
at Washington, and
Oh, okay.
Philly beat Washington in Philly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we all know the series. It don't start till you start beating people in their home,
Mm.
right? Like that's what
Well,
it's about.
those if I remember correctly, because I remember we had this talk.
Mhm.
I think Washington was taking a lot of chances in that game, one of them games, and that cost them a win.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And now we'll see if it come back to haunt them now, because now they're going to Philly.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see.
And
So when they played,
they close to each other.
Yeah.
and this is in the division. They
Right.
when in versus Washington, they beat them 26-18, and then when they lost to them, it was 36-33. What?
Right. I think
Yeah.
that's the chance taking game right there.
Okay.
and they lost at that point. Philly was 12-3.
Yeah.
Couple of things though, I will say, like I said, they playing them at home, so maybe that's going to be something to look forward to. Shout out to John Green, said, do you think that John Mara was physically ill?
Who?
John Mara was physically ill watching Barkley yesterday.
Yeah.
Listen, I had this conversation, and shout to everybody. Shout to Z-Cal. Let's go. Shout to Z-Cal for tuning in. We appreciate you, man. Tuning in on YouTube land. Thank you so much. You know what I mean? I said this. Shout to Dave. Shout to my guy Dave. I said this. I said, thanks to the Giants, the Eagles and the Commanders
Uh-huh.
are gonna be a thorn in their side for the next 3 to 4 years because of bad decisions by them,
The Giants.
the Giants.
Okay.
With them going on that winning streak with Tommy Cutlets or whatever, with this guy, you know what I mean?
This guy.
Because they ended up going on a win streak with this guy, they lost their chance at Jaden Daniels, right? Commanders end up getting them. History's in the making. Because this kid is looking like one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen.
Nah,
Listen,
I ain't gonna say all
listen.
that.
For a rookie QB to get this far,
What?
there was a
We've had
4
rookies
win.
like
How
that.
many wins?
We've had rookies like that.
How many wins
Yes.
did who?
Well, didn't
Marino-
C.J. Stroud do that last year?
Marino
Ben was 15-1.
Yeah, they got to the Super Bowl in their second year.
Right. We ain't talking about rookie
Marino
year.
And,
Didn't
and
C.J. Stroud had it?
Roethlisberger,
They made it to
they
the
was
playoffs
second
their
years.
first year?
They made it to their
Yeah, but I don't think anybody else has made it to the conference final.
Not to the
As a
conference final as a rookie.
I know the second year Marino made it to the Super Bowl,
I'm not saying
and Roethlisberger made it the second year too.
he's good, but you know,
But
he's
Roethlisberger,
Nah.
Roethlisberger was 15-1.
He's great, kid.
That was his second year as a quarterback, though.
Was it his second year?
Yeah, because I just looked it up to see if any rookies had ever been in the Super Bowl, and there's never been a rookie quarterback in the Super Bowl.
Oh no, I'm talking about you said AFC. You said the NFC Championship.
Do y'all realize for a rookie?
No, I'm talking about the championship, the conference championship.
Did he make the conference championship
Yeah,
his
he was
rookie year?
15-1. He
Who?
lost to the Patriots.
Who?
Ben.
He made the conference champ in his
If I
rookie
remember-
season.
If I remember correctly, yeah. If I remember correctly.
That's why we love. That's why we love Google.
it's hard to
Okay,
Google.
Google.
Trust you, Mick. I know you.
Yeah.
Your screen, your
The
things
the
are
following year,
it's
he
a
went
little black
11
and
and
yellow
5.
there, man.
The following year, he went 11-5, and they won the Super Bowl.
Shout to Ezekiel. He said that Washington won when Philly had the backup QB. Your man
What,
Pickett.
Doug? Who?
Your man Pickett
Washington.
During the season.
during the season. Yeah.
Oh, say it again.
He said Washington won. He said when
They
Philly
beat
had the backup QB.
Okay.
So shout to
Okay.
Pickett. Shout to Kenny Pickett. That's his man. Shout to Kenny.
That's not
Pickett.
my
You know what I'm saying?
man.
Yeah, I don't know. He was
backtracking
bigging it
now.
up.
That's
He
not my
backtracking
man.
He
I just said
moonwalking
I
now.
know
He's like
he was
this.
Backtracking.
It's interesting because I did Google it. There's 6 rookies who made the championship game.
Oh, really?
Brock Purdy, Mark Sanchez, Joe Flacco, Ben Roethlisberger, Sean King, and
about
Jaden
Sanchez.
Daniels.
Wow.
But you know what the interesting thing is?
Uh-huh.
As far as scoring defenses, Brock Purdy, the San Francisco was the first team in scoring defense that year. Mark Sanchez was the third best scoring defense. Flacco was also the third. Ben Roethlisberger, Pittsburgh was first. Sean King, their team was third. Jaden Daniels' team scoring defense is 18th.
So
It's on his shoulders.
He's
Exactly.
doing more with less.
he's doing more.
Right. He did not have all the help
He
that
got
these
more-
guys had.
Right, he got more.
These guys were all playing with teams with dynamic defenses.
Let's go. Shout to yo, come on,
Ben,
man.
Ben
Y'all
was
gotta
a,
give
those
some-
are
give
game
Surge
managers.
his props.
Those are big.
Come on, man.
Basically, that's what it looked like
That's
when
what
you
Ben-
look at them defenses.
Listen,
That's what Ben.
Yeah, Ben
Nah,
had
that
the
ain't-
top.
that was
that's
from
not for
Surge, man. Surge.
Ben had the top defense in the league that year, scoring wise.
So I will. So that says a lot to what he's playing with. You know what I mean? The first time I saw Jaden Daniels play, like I really watched him, I can't lie, was when they played the Giants this year. And I saw when the Giants played him, they hit him one time. It was like in the first quarter. They really zinged him. And from there, he picked them apart in the pocket. I think that was the game that they won with nothing but field goals.
Field goals. Right.
They beat the Giants with nothing but field goals.
Right.
But I mean, I was like, he may be a rookie, but he learned immediately. Yo, I ain't gonna be none of this running and me just getting hit. Because he got hit, he got hurt, and he came right back in the net. And from there, he picked them apart. And I was like, yo, this kid is on another level. And the more we've been watching him, you can't even really say like he making rookie mistakes. You can't, like, he's really learning. You see it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at his touchdowns for the regular season for this season. He threw 25 touchdowns to 9 interceptions.
Right.
It's pretty good, man.
Right.
So really, you wouldn't know that he's a rookie unless they mention it.
No, and look at the postseason, threw 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
Yeah, I'm worried. You know, I always go back to RG3 with him.
Okay.
And that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about
Why?
him getting hurt.
You
I'm
think
worried about him getting hit because he's not that big.
He's not big. He's
Yeah,
wiry.
so,
He's wiry.
right. So when you see him get hit, you're like, yo, is he gonna get up? Like,
My-
you know what I'm saying? Is he all right?
Right.
You know?
You know what
So-
though? But I'm starting to realize with this NFL that a lot of these guys are not worried about their QBs the way we are. Like,
Because of the rules changes, I believe. I believe it gotta be the rule changes.
I mean, but you can't just have your guy running around willy
yeah, well,
nilly.
yeah, they
Somebody
you
gonna
know what's so
not care.
crazy? Like what you're saying? All these plays that we see now,
Yes.
those is old college plays that we normally get to use to. quarterback options. You know, all them option plays wasn't in there years back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now it's all in there.
Right.
Every team got them.
Every time I see a QB run or I see the QB sneak or the brotherly shove or whatever you want to call it, I'll be like, yo, this is risky. You paying this guy all this money.
Right.
And he gets hit. He get his clock cleaned by somebody that's on the third string that's looking to make a team. You got a real problem. You feel what I'm saying? Like a Jaden Daniels, he gets hurt. But that's it.
But see, that's what I'm saying. When did they used to get hurt? They was getting hurt.
Running.
No, a lot of times they got hurt in the pocket getting those late hits, and they wasn't getting no flags on them.
Not when RG3 got hurt.
Well, I'm saying traditional football before all these rules.
Oh
changes,
yeah.
They was getting laced in the pocket.
That's
late
true.
hits and everything.
But the rules have changed.
Yeah, now the rules changed, so now they don't get those hits no more.
I mean, but you still don't mean that when you scrambling, somebody just not going to do it. See, we don't got gone to the days of the Greg Lloyds and the, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
These dudes didn't care. They was like, you know what, I get fined.
I'm fine. I'm gonna take my shot.
Tear your head
I'm gonna
off.
take my shot anyway.
Yeah, but like you said, those days are over.
Those days,
Right.
they
You
are
don't
over.
got guys like that no more.
Right, so the quarterback getting more freedom, and like you said, they slide, they
They
fake
got the
slide.
right? They
Right,
got
you know what I'm saying?
You
They
can't
slide,
fake.
they
You
fake
can't
slide.
slide. You can't fake slide.
Right,
They
some of
stopped
them
that
try-
after
Oh,
Pickett.
some of them
try
do
to-
it though.
After Pickett, they stopped that fake slide thing.
Yeah, they try that.
So,
Because
you know what's
but
funny?
if you fake slide and you get slammed, then that's on you.
Right,
But
that's
that,
on
but
you.
they don't. You can't fake and then jump up and run. So that's not happening.
Yeah, because once that knee is down, it's down. Like,
Yeah, it basically is a slide.
like let's go into case in point that Jared Goff hit. Jared Goff got his clock cleaned on that pick six.
Yeah, he did.
He had to go sit down. They had to
That
pull
was a
over the
big call
blue
too because that was a touchdown.
There you go.
That wouldn't have been a touchdown.
If
We
it
don't
was
know
who? If it was Mahomes
yeah.
getting his
It'd have been touchdown in the flag, right?
Yup, they'd have been like, yo,
Right.
They gave him the
Count it
touchdown
off, right.
and gave him the flag.
Yeah.
there'd have been so much yellow out there in that end zone, look like a grilled cheese
Yo,
out there like
yeah.
this.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Oh, they did the same thing for Brady. So don't act like they didn't do it. They did the same thing for Brady and shit, man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And shout to John Green. He said, but protecting the QB has gone too far. And that's kind of where I was
is
going
too
with
far.
it. It's like, at what point are they football players? Right? And it's like, you know, we when you look at football in general, right?
Well,
The QB has always been the one that get paid the most.
That's why they protected them.
All right.
Yeah, but they didn't get paid like this.
They didn't get
Now
no.
it's
They
like the
didn't.
golden goose.
Well, it's the same thing with basketball players, the stars, and you know, over the years it's gotten more and more. I had a list. Somebody said that of the top paid players
Mhm.
over the years or whatnot.
Well, as it went up
Right.
every year.
Remember, like Michael,
Mhm.
one year Michael got 30 million, and
Don't
then
get
it
too
dropped
close
back
to him,
down
it's
to I
gonna be
think
a foul.
16 or 17, something like that. It was like for 2 years, and then it dropped right back down. Now, like
Everybody.
Curry been for the
Number
last
one
3
guy.
years.
the number one guy.
Yeah, like the highest paid for the last 3 years.
Who?
Curry,
Oh.
56 something, 55 million, something like that. And I think next year, I think he get close to 60.
But you know what? It's one of them kind of things. I guess if they feel like they investing in them, people come to see them. But it takes away from the game. It takes away from the game. Like, you know, remember, like some of the greatest games we've ever seen, we've seen QBs get hurt, and then that injuries change a game.
Right, it does.
And that's why I say, like, you listen, they're not gonna be around all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like if like you said, when Jalen Hurts got injured yesterday,
Right.
everybody was like,
Mhm.
because they don't know what the game is gonna look like, and that is playoff football.
True.
It's playoff football.
And a lot of times those guys get hurt when they're making a pass, or if he's coming down, his hands hits somebody's helmet or something like that. or,
Uh-huh.
you know, he gets taken out from the leg. But you don't get that close and get shots like that.
I remember John Elway, the Broncos. I believe it was 98. I think they were playing the Packers for the Super Bowl.
Mm.
They and
He did the spin.
whoa,
Helicopter-
boy,
helicopter
remember that?
spin.
And could you imagine that? And this is, I mean, he ran knowing he was going to get hit.
Right.
You can see it in his eyes. I'm going to get my clock clean. It's what's gonna happen. And he did it anyway. And you know what? It made for the game. It was like, yo, did you see that? Like, it was football.
Yeah, but you know the funny thing is, even in that situation, that happens today, and the first thing they're gonna do is send him to the blue tent
Oh yeah.
because of concussion. Right,
Right.
concussion. Those guys back in the days, they didn't know where they was at, and they was still on the field
Right.
playing. You ain't having that no more.
Elway did that because that was Super Bowl. His fifth.
Right,
He
he
wanted
needed it. He needed
He
it.
needed that.
But I mean, there was plenty of times that guys was out on that field, and you
They
know
out of
that
it,
they
right.
wasn't there, but they were still
Out there.
playing.
Yeah.
Not
That's
no
a
more.
fact.
You ain't
It
having
wasn't-
that.
it wasn't-
Now the minute a guy hits his head on this thing,
Right.
they calling downstairs, get him in the tent,
Get
get
him
him in the
off, right.
tent.
Yeah.
They're not taking chances like that, mainly because they don't want to pay the price for like Junior Seau
Later
or them
down,
guys,
yeah,
right?
later
When these
on
guys
down
start
the
killing
year.
themselves because they had too many of them, they didn't do
Yeah,
nothing about
yeah.
it. Now they're not gonna. They saying, "Oh no, we protecting our players. We're not letting them do
Right.
that."
Which I
So-
think is full of it anyway, because
Yeah.
when you start adding games, like teams playing what 3 games in 11, 12 days.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
That's what don't tell me you worrying about the players and you
Right.
scheduling games that like that.
That
Right.
tight together.
Yeah,
that tight
come on.
together.
Where's their recovery time?
Patrick
Right.
Mahomes said they played 3 games in the span of like 2 weeks. So
That's
like,
ridiculous, man.
he was like, "Yo, we playing a game,"
Right.
and they really
Those four
dogged him.
teams like
Yeah,
They really
because
dogged
you
him.
need time
But-
for your
but-
body
but
to
the-
recover.
The thing with that is, if you look at the Thursday games, that's basically the same schedule.
Yes, it
So
is.
you playing Sunday, Thursday.
Right.
It ain't but 11 days.
Right.
But nobody said nothing because everybody's doing it.
Right.
But when you single out 4 teams and you do it on a different day,
Yeah.
you do it on a Saturday and you play on a Tuesday, which is the same length of time from Sunday to Thursday, it
Right.
looked different.
It looked
So
different.
it's the illusion of playing all those games that
Facts.
had people upset. When the reality is, if you playing on Thursday, you don't play 3 games in 11 days anyway.
Right.
Crazy.
And Patrick Mahomes was pissed off about it. Like, yo, come on, man. But you know, you gotta say to yourself too, like I said, like when it comes down to like injuries, and to me, it makes the playoffs though, man. It do. I hate to say, I'm not saying you want to see somebody go out there and get injured, but it's just part of the game. It's part of the game. And I hate to see like I said, when the refs start stepping in, like, oh, you know, you can't. There was a couple questionable calls that they had on Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right.
There was a couple of them. And we was like, come on. He's a man, ain't he? Like, you know, he grown, he running, ain't he?
Right.
Like, you know, like at what point is he being held liable for making that run? And that's why I said, like, now you see them getting away from spending a lot of money on a lot of those great defensive players and spending more on the offensive side of the ball. I think especially now that the resurgence of the running back, because you look at these teams that's in the playoffs now, they all got good backs. You know what I'm saying? Even
True.
the Bills. Even the Bills with Cook, they got good backs. You know what I mean?
Well, do you think that's because of the offensive line or because of the back? We know too
Well, you
that are
can't-
good.
Kansas City running game ain't really
Yeah,
that
Pacheco.
But Pacheco
and then
been out
what's
the whole
other guy?
season.
good. And Hunt.
And Hunt.
Kareem Hunt and Pacheco. Pacheco got injured. He broke his leg earlier this
Yeah,
season.
but their offensive line is not as good as some of the teams.
But they still got the threat that they could run. The whole
Are
thing
you
about
worried?
to me.
Are you worried about their running game more so than you worry about Kelsey getting open all the time?
But the thing is,
Kelsey makes that running game run.
right, because now you putting your finger on all the different holes in the
Right,
dam. You know what I'm
right,
saying? You're like, oh, I'm gonna stop the running game.
Right.
Huh? Like things open up because of how their offense moves.
Right.
I take
They
my-
set
I take
people
my
up from
chances
Jump
with-
Street.
I take my
Pacheco-
chances to get that running game then, but Kelsey, because
Right,
Kelsey's open all the goddamn time. Whenever they need a big play, what's name's running out the pocket,
Right.
and he find
That's
Kelsey
the- that-
open
that's-
all the
That's
time.
their biggest run.
That's their biggest play.
Is Mahomes.
Right. When he runs out the pocket, and for whatever reason, Kelsey will shoot the other way,
Yes.
and he's wide open.
I mean,
I'm like,
go
are y'all
down at
serious?
goal line, yeah. You Pacheco and Hunt, they're
But
big,
you're not-
tough
Right.
guys. They run in,
Right.
but you're not afraid of them breaking something.
No.
Right. You're not
As
expecting.
far as like Mahomes do when he gets his little 15,
Right,
20 down,
Right.
20
Right.
yard runs down there.
Right.
They just don't do. Kansas City just doesn't rely on that. That's
right,
not
you're
their
not
thing.
expecting 25, 30 carries again. That's
No,
what-
It's
Not
from
basically,
Pacheco,
basically
you
it's
mean?
a
That's what you're
broken
saying.
play.
Right.
But
It's a broken play.
because you're not expecting that, that's when they could get a run out. Because you know what I'm saying? Because you got, like you said, you got a Kelsey out there.
Right.
You're worried about him. Then look, bong, we'll catch you with a running play.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like, what game were we watching? The Ohio State game when they were playing,
What,
and the wide receiver
playoffs?
was wide open
Yes.
all game long.
Yes.
What's that big wide receiver? I think is he a freshman?
Yeah.
Yeah. All game long. This dude
Right.
is wide open.
Right.
When are y'all gonna recognize this dude? And he's Everybody's behind the play. And I don't understand it. How you let this dude, as big as he is,
Constant.
he's a big wide receiver, and
Yeah.
y'all behind him all game long.
Yeah. So with that being said, now we're gonna step into the news of it a little bit. The head coaching hires. A lot of jobs open.
Jets ain't hired nobody yet.
No, not yet.
Not
I
even,
thought you said somebody just.
The
For the
Bears.
To the Bears.
Oh, okay.
Ben
okay.
Johnson, the coordinator, Lions
Yeah.
offense, he's already gone. What about the defensive coordinator? You said he got looked at by a couple people.
the Jets.
The
had
Jets
interviews.
is probably going to end up. I'm hoping that they end up signing him.
He's
So-
had, yeah, he
I don't
turned
mind.
down
He's an
somebody
ex-Jet,
for
and
interview.
he's a up and comer. I honestly, they need to get an offensive guy just like the Bears did. But
Yeah.
if you're gonna sign a defensive guy, let it be him or Flores. Don't let it be
You would take Flores on the
Rex Ryan.
Jets?
Yeah, what the hell?
I feel
took
like
Robert
Flores. He kind of sullied his name with
Yeah, he
that
did.
Tua business. Man.
Yeah, him and Tua didn't get along.
Yeah, but you don't be telling the boy, I don't want you here.
Oh shit!
He was telling him all kind of foul stuff like that. I think, like like that. I mean, it is what it is. It's football. We ain't predicating on feelings, but I mean, it's a different kind of game. If you took the man heart, you telling the man I don't even want you there. I think that says a lot about him. And if he gets hired as a head coach, it's you kind of know what kind of circus you're walking into. You know what I mean? Jacksonville Jaguars, though. Is that an appealing game? Is that an appealing job right now?
Jacksonville.
Yeah.
You have a quarterback.
You don't. You got
You do.
Who?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
That's the quarterback?
Yeah.
Yes.
Nah.
You don't like Trevor
I'll
Lawrence?
say this again. No, I don't like Trevor Lawrence.
I think Trevor Lawrence is a good quarterback.
If he couldn't do anything under Doug Peterson, what do you think he's gonna do? Who?
Can you name anybody else on that team?
Who?
And he was hurt this year too.
Who?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence?
Yes, he was.
I don't know. I don't think
I think
he's.
Trevor Lawrence has the makings of being a good coach.
Trevor Lawrence to me is a mini Justin Herbert. You get him the right guy to show him how to coach him, and I think he's got more than enough talent to be an NFL quarterback.
I think he got the tools. I think he got the look. I just don't think he has it. I don't know if it's here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they don't have a good team though.
I mean, they don't have a good
When
team.
did that vacancy happen?
Huh?
When did Jaguars vacancy happen?
They fired
That was recently.
Doug Peterson. I forget now. I think they fired him during the season.
Didn't the Jets interview him too?
I think
I don't know.
they fired him during the season because they had a really bad loss. Who did they lose to? I forget. And they was like, "Yo, you're out of here, kid. Yo, you're out of here."
I know.
So it just goes to show. To me, there's a couple. So Steve Spagnuolo's already been interviewed by them. That's interesting. It just says a lot about the job. I feel like that's not like Flores been interviewed by them, and then you got Las Vegas.
The Raiders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's
Raiders
a lot of
is always looking for somebody.
there's a lot of. I think that's why the Giants didn't move on from.
Yes.
No, I think that's why the Giants didn't move on from the ball because they're like, who we gonna get? Who we gonna get to
The
replace
Cowboys
this
looking for
cat?
somebody too, right?
Huh?
Cowboys is looking
Yeah,
for somebody.
Cowboys looking
Saints
for a
is
head
looking for
coach.
somebody.
Saints is looking for a head. I mean, it's a lot of. We don't get me wrong. We usually see a coaching carousel, but there's a lot of teams out
This is
there.
how
looking for-
this is how coaches get recycled.
Yeah, and the same offenses end up in some of these different places.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
So out of all of them, which one do you think is the most appealing head coaching job, though? All of the ones that we know is open.
Cowboys
Why?
against the Cowboys. You said the most
Appealing job, yeah.
I think it's the Cowboys.
Appealing?
Like if you
It's the Cowboys. That's it.
Either the Cowboys or the Raiders.
I think the Raiders is appealing too.
Why?
The problem with the Raiders, they don't have a quarterback.
Right.
Just
So
because
that right there
But they
makes
got
the
a
job.
big, right.
And they really, what do they have besides not a quarterback? Because they got the rookie tight end. They don't really have a lot to offer a head coach coming in. Whereas the Cowboys, you got CeeDee Lamb, you got Dak Prescott, you got a halfway decent defense if they shore it up.
Right.
They showed up.
So you got opportunities because they've been a 12-win team
Yes.
3 years in a row before this last year where they had this injuries and collapse thing.
And you got to deal with the owner too.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. Going in. That's why they think Dion might take that job because he's got the personality and he's been underneath
He's an ex-player.
Jones. Right.
Right.
He knows Johnson. He knows. I mean, Jones. He knows what to expect, and he's big enough of a personality to deal with that.
Okay.
See, with that job, you got to be somebody who's thick-skinned,
Okay.
without a doubt. You can't be a thin-skinned guy and take that job because, like you said, you got Jerry Jones.
Right.
You got to automatically know that's going to be a problem.
And you know
'Cause
what?
He's the owner and the GM, and he already told you he's GM for life. Till he dies, he's going to
said
be the
that.
GM. Yeah, he said that.
Boy.
So, and he might actually, whereas you go in as that person, he might actually listen and bend a little bit. He might be more flexible with Dion
Yes.
because of his history with the Cowboys.
Right.
And because he knows that if
I don't
it
think
takes
Boy,
the
he got
I don't
them a
think
ring.
it's-
He helped them get rings.
I don't think it's gonna change.
I'm just saying, it's possible. It's a possibility that
It's
he
a
can be more
possibility.
flexible.
How old is Jerry Jones? 80-something years old.
87, I
He
think.
ain't changing.
No, he ain't changing.
87.
He ain't changing. But
Well,
that
you know-
team,
Okay,
like you said, 3 years in a row, they won 12 games.
Right.
It was
Right.
just last year they lost Michael Parsons for a while. They lost their defensive
Lawrence.
secondary. Lawrence was gone. They lost Dak, and all that added up to them being
where they are now.
where they are right because of all those injuries. Because had they not had those injuries, who knows? They just barely missed making the playoffs.
Right.
It wasn't
Who?
like they was the
Dallas?
Cowboys.
Yeah.
There was only one game out of the playoffs.
When they got
Right,
those
right.
guys
When they
back on the defense, right?
right, they started playing better. So they're more than likely are the quickest turnaround for the new coach
Right.
out of all the teams that you got. Because all the rest of them got major problems. The Raiders have major problems. The Saints got the same because Derek Carr, is he the answer for y'all?
No.
And,
That's
and
why
I
the
don't
Raiders
think
let
and
him
I don't
go.
think it's
That's it.
Spencer Rattler either because he didn't look like he's going. At least with Atlanta doesn't have that problem because they still got their coach, but they got a quarterback. You got Jacksonville. They got a quarterback if you got the right guy, just like Herbert
Right.
was
Yes.
last year. Herbert was different than he is this year under
Right.
Harbaugh.
True.
You can see the difference.
Yeah.
He only threw 3 interceptions or something like that the whole season. It was
Right.
just that one game against the Texans where it all
Went
blew up
bonkers,
on him.
kid.
Right.
And he threw the 4.
Yeah.
But other than that, he was consistent and he was
Mhm.
much better than what he was. I believe if you put the right guy with Trevor Lawrence, he's got just as much skill as Herbert got. He does. He got all the tools, like you said. He's got the look. And if you put the right guy with him, you got a chance to help that team turn around. But they got holes. Their defense ain't that great.
What about Chicago? Well, Chicago
In
took
Chicago.
Ben Johnson. This guy
Yeah,
Ben
they
Johnson,
got Ben Johnson.
but that was also an appealing job in my opinion.
Yeah,
because
because you got Caleb Williams.
right, and even though with him, I don't know.
He-
I don't know.
It was funny. I was listening to some guys on the radio today on NFL Network, and they were saying that seems like he's a slow learner. Because at the end of the season, when game 17, he was still opening up that thing and reading it like it was a book instead of just
Looking
the
at it
call
quickly
in,
and keep it moving.
getting the call come in and say, "Okay, I know what the play is now."
Right.
A lot of you know the older experienced guys once they pick it up,
Pick it up.
they know right
Unless
away.
they got a new offense.
Right,
Right.
unless it's a whole new
Coordinator.
offense. But for the most part, even most guys, by the end of the season, you've been under the same guy the whole season. You should know the playbook in and out if you've been studying.
Well, ask Daniel Jones
So-
that. I seen him look at that. What are
Daniel
you doing,
I
brother?
was going to say that. Like, I've seen
Yo,
older
wait, what
cats
you
do
doing
it.
in there, man?
I've seen older cats do it, but see, and that's the problem with what we got right now. I
Right.
think we brought up Jalen Daniels
Yes.
before. Daniels hurts the rest of the rookies because it's like he's doing it. Why you're not doing
Yo,
it?
Well, see, that's the same. That's the same
You know what
thing
I'm saying?
last year with Stroud.
Right.
Stroud hurt them guys because he looked so good,
Right.
Yep.
and the rest of them wasn't. Especially Bryce Young, he looked terrible.
Right.
Now, at least the end of this year, he's starting to look like he's going to be a
Right, so that's
viable
what I'm saying.
quarterback.
Right.
He's picking it up now.
You got to get him a couple of years.
Well, I give you
and
that
some
one.
of them will pick it up
What's
later
the
on.
guy in Green Bay the year before?
Yes.
Love, because Love took
Right.
a step back.
Right.
Right.
He didn't play
Bro,
as well.
that's the
But was he
sophomore
ever
change.
really that
Let's-
good?
But
Love?
no, Jordan Love, the difference between Jordan Love and the rest of them guys, he sat 4 years behind Aaron
Right.
Rodgers.
Right.
So you got 4 years of reps on the practice
Mhm.
squad, and on during the week you was repping, doing practice.
Right.
That's 4 years. The rest of the guys like he's
They
Jalen
throw
Daniels,
them to the
Stroud,
wolves right away.
Young, right? They just get thrown.
Wolves.
These guys now they get thrown in right away because you're a high draft choice,
Mhm.
Right.
and we're not waiting for you
Right,
to
we
learn.
expect you to be-
Right, you already
Set
should
it
be
up.
learning.
You should
Right.
know.
Right.
Okay, let me ask you all this.
Okay.
Should Minnesota re-sign Sam Darnold?
Hell no.
Whew.
Come
Because
on.
you was talking about
Woo.
you were talking about
Yeah,
that
you-
last week.
But he got exposed.
He got
2 weeks in a row, he got exposed. When the defense pressure was on him,
It's
he
over.
turned back into the old Sam
The
Darnold.
Jets Sam Darnold?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
yeah.
So-
I hate to say, the Jets sound, but that's why I was believing that hype too. And then I saw it and I
Right.
said, no, I don't want the Jets to go nowhere near that guy. And I don't think Minnesota should take a chance on losing McCarthy because you were saying that they
Yeah.
should trade him to the Giants. They shouldn't take that chance because
No.
Now you
I don't
should.
think Minnesota's going to trade him
no, they're
anyway.
not going
but
to. And they, if they sign him, it's going to be another one and done deal. 1 year and you're done.
Right.
And somebody else is going to take that chance and give him his
Let's
candy.
decide. Yeah.
So
His
I mean, I
3
think-
years at $30 million.
could
or
they
whatever.
franchise him?
Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
They can franchise
Can
for
they?
1
They
year,
could
right?
franchise, yeah,
oh boy.
I would do that.
they might.
Nah, don't franchise. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's gonna cost you a couple mil. It's gonna cost you like
Yeah, but
30,
it's only
40
1
mil.
year, and then
So-
you can
so
find
then-
out for real.
So then
if
after the
McCarthy's
good
or
season
not.
you had, you're just going to give it right to the rookie.
Shout out
Hey,
to
you-
Zeke
yo.
Cal. He said he gonna be a bum anyway.
Yeah. It's his job to lose.
He did. You don't think he lost it the last 2
No,
games?
I think that going into preseason,
Right.
it's going to be his job to lose.
Shout to John Green.
Well, he
to
may
cut
not
you
go
off.
to season without a contract.
Huh?
He's a free agent.
Who?
No, I'm saying if y'all saying if he gets re-signed,
Right.
Mhm.
it's his
If
job
I'm
to lose.
going to say, I would franchise him. And like you said,
Well,
1 year proved to me.
All
that
right,
you-
so right.
You
That's what I'm saying.
said it's his job to lose, but honestly and truthfully, Minnesota was going to go with McCarthy.
yes, they were.
Right.
So he got
last
hurt.
year before
Right.
he got hurt.
Right.
He got
So
hurt in the
maybe-
preseason,
Right.
As they say, injuries don't take away your job. So maybe in their mind, McCarthy's still the number 1 guy.
Well,
Hmm.
they're going to go in the preseason
Right.
and they're going to battle it out. That's what's going to happen.
But he's a free agent.
But you
I'm
know what
going
the
by
problem?
what
You know
you,
the,
I'm going by. If
You
Oh,
know
you
what?
about
right, if
franchising,
he
but-
franchise-
but
Okay.
you know what the problem is with that? Preseason is not preseason.
right, it's
Yes.
not a lot of games.
It's
either.
not. It's 3 games, and they play maybe a half total in those 3 games. The
Yes.
first game you play a series. The second
you're
game you play 2 series. The
Right.
third game you play a quarter,
Mhm.
and that's it. And you might not even play that quarter in the third game because they don't like to play any of
Right.
their starters
Starters,
in
right.
the third game
Especially
anymore.
third game, right?
It's
They
not
ain't
like
playing.
it used to be where they had 5 and 6
Yeah.
preseason games and the guys was playing a half a
Half
game.
a game.
And that game right before the first
Played the
game,
whole game.
you played almost the whole
Almost
game,
the whole
most of
game.
to
right.
get to see what you
Reps,
really
yeah,
had.
you need
These
them
guys
reps.
don't do that no more.
No.
So
And-
preseason's a joke.
Preseason is more for like those dudes just trying to
Trying
make
to
the
make
the
team.
team.
Exactly.
And special team
That's
is
what-
not even the same.
That's
anymore.
when you got to be careful with your quarterback because, like you
Get
said,
hurt.
now you
Yeah.
got these guys as third stringers that's gonna come at you with their head trying to kill you to make a name for themselves because
That's
they
a-
know if they don't, they may
Right.
not make the
They
team.
on they on somebody practice
Right.
squad or
But
not even.
special
Exactly.
teams is
I
not
believe-
even the same.
I
though,
believe.
man.
I believe because of the circumstances,
Right.
though, they have to play those guys because of that.
But I get
Because
what
of
you're saying.
this, because of the decision we have to make, we got to play these guys
The
in
backups.
the preseason.
You would
Right.
think that.
But like
No,
I
I'm just
like,
saying.
like
You
we
would
said,
think that.
Otherwise, you're just going
that-
into the
You
regular
know what
season
that make?
and your mind is already made
that
up.
makes common sense, and common sense doesn't work in the NFL. So you're right. It would make sense for them to fight it out, but I just don't see them
doing
doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
I
So
really
therefore, so their mind would be made up already.
Right. They
All right,
gotta-
we're not signing him. McCarthy is your job.
I mean, shout out to
You know
John
what I'm saying?
Green. He
True.
said he would sign him as a backup. He would sign Darnold as a backup
He
to
ain't taking-
McCarthy.
He's
Now-
not taking
now-
that.
Now,
Give
now
them-
check
give
this
them
out.
the franchise tag. There's only one
It's
year,
only 1 year.
and find out what's going on.
But once you do that, you sign him as a backup. You might go through the whole year shuffling. You know what I'm saying? All right, he's
But
the
it's only
backup.
for 1 year.
McCarthy's automatic. Yeah, but you just had a 14 and
But
2
Minnesota
season.
got a
You
decent
just had
team.
You just had a 14 and 2 season.
But
you decide you could decide McCarthy's the man on day one,
You know what?
and he comes out of the gate 0 and 3.
But
What are you gonna do? You gonna
But you know
ride with
what?
him, or you gonna bring Donald back in?
yeah,
It's like
You know what I'm saying?
it's like I said a couple of weeks ago. They had a 14 and 2 season.
Yes.
But look at their schedule.
right.
They played a weak schedule.
It ain't
So-
gonna be like that next year.
Right.
It's
Next
gonna be
year,
different.
because you were one of the top teams,
Right.
your schedule is gonna be harder.
Right.
You're not gonna have a 14 and 2 season
Well,
playing teams from the South
right,
and the AFC,
right.
whatever division it is,
Right.
the AFC, Houston Texan division with
Right.
Indianapolis. You're not playing those teams now.
Right.
Well, all
You might
three-
have to play NFC East next year with their powerhouse teams
Right.
and the AFC.
I think you play all the number ones
the
or the number
AFC
twos.
Central with them So you're gonna be in that position where you got to play against a better team.
Well, let's just get into to if you look at Sam Darnold's stats for the season, not so bad. 361 completions, 545 attempts, leave him at 66.2%.
66? Okay.
66.2. He threw for 4,300 yards, 4,319 yards, and 254 yards a game, 35 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. That's not bad. I will say this: the receiving core had a lot to do with that.
Oh, yeah, he got good.
Did they have a lot of yards after catch?
Well, I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I could look into that.
You got Justin Jefferson. You kidding me?
No,
man?
I'm just what I'm saying though.
Right, they got a good receiver.
Right. No, I understand that, but
whoever the other guy is that they got,
right. But to make that yak makes a difference versus him throwing it on the dime, long passes.
But that is not.
But I mean,
it's not
if
the
you
same for most quarterbacks, like guys run after the ball.
I will say this
after the catch. I mean,
yeah, but I'm saying for majority of the season, what was it? You know
I will say this. I will say this. They had great yards after the catch, but there was some where Sam Darnold was airing it out.
Right. That's
I ain't gonna front.
Right.
There was a couple games where I was like, "Yo, did he throw that game?" Like, I mean, like, where you got it, like,
is that Sam Darnold?
I was like, "Yo, is this guy serious?" But yeah, there's a couple games where he aired it out. Kid.
And then you got to factor in.
Was your Giants take him?
That division that he was in, you
know what?
Green Bay had a good year, and obviously Detroit had a good year.
So
they always beating up on somebody.
Yeah, true.
I mean, there's beating up on the Giants.
No, I'm saying
they're all beating up on the NFC East.
Yeah,
and the
AFC
East.
They all beating up on somebody. So three of them came out of the division and made the playoffs.
Right.
I will say this though. I think the Giants. I think right now, you hearing their name with Kirk Cousins. Why?
I don't know. Ask these fans, right? They fans.
Why? I don't like these guys. Leave them alone.
What happened?
You hearing the Giants' name with Kirk Cousins? Why?
Right. Let them go there. Let them go.
They might do that.
I don't.
Let them go there. Let them go there.
I mean,
he's better than what they got.
They got to see what they draft, because if they decide not to go the quarterback route, they're gonna need a quarterback. They got nothing.
I mean,
you gonna go in with Tommy DeVito?
Nah. Excuse me, I'm sorry, not Tommy DeVito.
Look, Sam Darnold don't get signed. Sam Darnold don't get re-signed. Is it okay he go to the Giants?
It's okay with me.
I said if Sam Darnold don't get signed, it's okay he goes there.
See, I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's a possibility.
It is, but the thing is that like you said, when you look at the Minnesota Vikings and you look at the Giants, right? The thing is that the Vikings just have more of a welcoming team.
Right.
See, what do the Giants really have?
Malik Neighbors.
That right, and the fuse with him is getting really short because Jaden Daniels, if y'all remember, early on this season, him and Jaden Daniels put up, I think it was a $1,000 bet or $10,000 bet of who would be rookie of the year, and then they stopped it. They stopped it because the media was like, you don't want people to think you're gambling.
Right.
You remember that? And Jaden Daniels is out here lighting it up.
Right.
And he at home. That's why it was, and he's not the kind of guy that takes he's the kind of guy that takes losing personal. And you could tell by some of the after the game text talking that he was doing. So good luck with that. I don't know. I don't know if Sam Darnold is as appealing for the New York Giants. I do know that they got to do something. Like you said, depends on how they draft. But if you ain't getting these two, Shador or Cam Ward,
what's their draft pick right now?
3.
They the number 3. So they could get Hunter. They could get Travis Hunter. They could definitely get him.
You got Travis Hunter, Malik Neighbors, and Drew Lock. Or
First,
Tommy DeVito.
But really? Here's the thing: they have more bread. They have more money this year to go get a quarterback.
They need to get a quarterback.
Who's out there?
Honest opinion, right? It seemed the closest thing is Sam Darnold, but like I said,
and Kirk Cousins, because they're gonna get rid of him.
Oh my God, Kirk Cousins!
Because they're going with Penix. They don't find Penix. They're not gonna bother with Kirk Cousins again.
Yo, you can tell by my no. We're gonna have to see, man. We're gonna have to see. I'm just not looking forward to none of it. With that being said, we're gonna head on to the next stop, is the NBA. I know you was on the NFL.
Are you a Giant fan, Post? Are you a Giant fan, Post?
More than a minute.
What you say?
Are you a Giant fan, Post?
Yo, look.
Yeah, you're a Giant fan. You didn't know that?
No, I was just saying.
Man, you a
Don't
little
let
late.
him
You a little late
front.
in the game, man.
Don't let him
No,
front.
no, because I'm he like.
Why you
Kirk
think he
Cousins,
don't-
You
I
didn't
don't
hear the
know.
conversation
Kirk
last
Cousins,
week?
I don't know.
You see
I don't
that?
know.
Did you see how much
I just
gusto
wanted to
he
put him on
had
blast real
in,
quick.
His whole voice
in his
changed.
voice
He was talking-
last week when he was talking about getting J.J. McCarthy and teaming him up with Hunter and Neighbors? He was hyped. He just knew that this was gonna happen, and now
And Darnold
that
come
dream-
out here and lay an egg.
that dream is starting to shrink, and he's not as boisterous this week as he was last week. There's not that gusto this week.
Right.
Now all of a
Yeah.
sudden he's like, man, that was a
Yeah,
cold
I think
slap
Minnesota
in the face.
gonna wake up
Yeah,
now.
man, a cold slap in the face.
I was hoping they was buying
You
that
said,
fool's
you heard what he
gold,
said?
man.
He said Kirk Cousins. And he said it like that. He didn't say Kirk Cousins. Yeah. He's like Kirk Cousins.
His whole voice
Sorry,
changed.
Post. I love you, Post. But come on now. You my boy, but we gonna rip that Band-Aid off, kid. We ripping it off.
He said,
can't front.
He said, yeah, a pick and somebody else, and we can get
Yo,
get McCarthy.
he got
and
me.
shit.
He got me, man, because I was
Oh,
like,
he
yes.
was, yeah, he was all over that.
I was like, yo, they gonna get JJ McCarthy, get Hunter, you got Malik
I think
Neighbors.
somebody last week was calling you the GM and shit, man.
Yeah. Be the GM.
Yeah.
And
Now
then,
that job got a little harder.
Yeah.
Now you got to find a quarterback.
and then Sam Darnold come out here and play like
And
that.
play like that, right?
Right. And then on top of that, the Giants won the game. Oh, you know how we just blew the first pick?
Yeah,
man.
right. They went and blew the first pick. They could have been at least second and guaranteed themselves one of the two
Oh
cats.
man, don't
Nah.
remind me. That really hurt, man. I will say this, man. I was doing well last week. I can't front.
Yeah, you was on it.
I was on it, man. And when Sam Darnold came on play like that, all I saw was the hopes. I was like, yo, maybe they still sign him.
Minnesota
Daniel
don't know what
Jones
they
is the
do.
backup.
They don't know now.
Oh man.
They don't throw a whole new mess into the game because of that.
Yo, whole new that threw a monkey wrench in my whole plan. Like, we'll see how it play out, man.
I see it.
Right.
I know all them guys that was like talking sad. See, I told you, don't trust them. Don't trust them. And shit, man.
I said, but he looked good. You want to sign him?
Yeah, he
I said,
did. He looked-
sign him and have Daniel Jones your backup. You in good shape. I didn't realize
Yeah, you
Daniel.
had Daniel Jones backing him up.
Right.
You was like totally disregarding McCarthy. Yeah,
Right.
we got McCarthy.
Right. And
He's
that's
coming
what
to
was
the
throwing me-
Giants.
That actually threw me off too. Like, McCarthy had the
man,
job. I'm like, hold up, they got Daniel Jones there
Yo.
as backup now.
That hurt
Yo,
me, man.
he was on it. Like, forget it.
That hurt me, man.
He
I just
He
couldn't
was on
believe it.
cloud nine with that.
Yeah.
Now that the rain done started falling.
Yeah.
Now he's going back to the old days. He's singing it in the rain.
Yeah.
It may sound crazy.
Yo, you stupid. Yeah.
Yo, I'm looking out the window while it's raining.
You
Like,
know what I'm saying?
Is this the old school
Washing all those dreams away.
right out the window. And shit.
and you know what's sad? I was telling cats, man. I said, yo, man, they're gonna be down for a long time. They really messed up. They're gonna be down for a long, and not only they gonna be down because of the moves they did, but the moves that the other teams in the NFC East made.
Right.
So that's it.
Yo, it's always a shift of power, though.
Yeah, but I
So-
mean, like, who saw Washington coming through like this?
No, nobody.
Nobody.
Not
Nobody.
this fast.
Not this fast.
Not this fast.
Right.
So it's crazy. Shout to Bernard Hall.
And like
He
you
said it was good.
but
Joe.
you know
Yo,
what's
what's up?
You got to be real careful with that too, because it's like a Dan Marino situation where he got to the Super Bowl in second year and everybody just knew that Miami was going to be a force. Never got back.
No. They were
There's
good
no
team.
guarantee.
They
There's
were
no
good problem, though.
guarantees, right? But there's no guarantees you're gonna make it
That's a
back
fact.
Right.
again,
Yeah, true.
because
Right.
there's normally a Kansas City or a San Francisco
Mhm.
or a Pittsburgh or a Dallas who is so dominant that for 4 or 5 years in your career you can't beat that team.
Right.
Right.
And then if you ain't get to that point, there's another team that's gonna step up,
Step up.
Right.
and
Yep.
you can't beat that team.
Right.
Right.
So you're not making the Super Bowl
Right.
as much as because everybody knew once Dan Marino led them to that first one that they were going to be in the Super Bowl
Yeah,
every year.
everybody thought
Never
that,
made
right.
it back again.
Right.
And he's not the only quarterback. There's a lot of guys. Look,
Yeah.
just like you said, Jordan Love. last year when they beat the Cowboys, they went, "Oh yeah, Jordan Love this
Mhm.
year they up and coming."
Yeah, he gonna be the
Up and
man.
coming.
And now, yeah,
Didn't turn
yeah.
out that way, did it?
Exactly.
But not for nothing, that kid Malik Willis though
Mm.
looked good. Stepped in as a bat. Look.
There
I
you
know
go.
I'm
There you go.
like auditioning for a
There you go.
quarterback.
Go get Malik Willis.
He's the answer.
All right,
Shout
here
to
we go.
Dave,
Here
man.
we
Dave
go.
is in the. Dave just checked in, man. He said that
The Knicks one.
Shout to Dave, yeah. And shout to Todd. I see Todd done checked in too. He said,
Todd,
What's
my
up,
brother,
Todd?
my brother.
With that being said, stepping over to the NBA, shout to Dave with that information on Front Street. He said the Knicks actually pulled it off today, man.
You brought them good luck, brother.
Yeah, he finally.
I don't know. You know what?
All the other times, I don't know what you was doing.
That's hilarious. But with that being said, what position did that put the Knicks in as far as the play? I know we have midway of the season.
Right.
They're number 3 seed right now, aren't they?
I think they're number 4.
East?
Four. I
I
think
think they're number 4 in the East right now.
who's ahead of them?
I'll
I
tell
know
you right now, I
Cleveland-
think.
Boston.
Milwaukee.
And,
Oh no, they are number 3.
Yeah,
Right.
number 3.
You're right. Number
Yeah.
3 seed. You got Cleveland and Boston in front of them. Boston only in front by 2 games. Cleveland,
Boston been losing lately.
yeah, they 7-7 in their last 14
but
games.
it's like they said, they won a championship, and a lot of times when you win a championship, the next year you kind of don't go as hard
Right,
during the
that
regular
too.
season
Right.
because you know what's going to happen at the end of the season
Right.
when it's playoff time.
Yes.
So they know how to win. Now.
Well,
they've
I'm-
been there and they know how to
I'm
do
a
it.
firm believer, and I don't care what sport it is. When you make it to the finals,
Yes.
whether you win or lose,
Mhm.
that's more taxing on your body because you're playing a lot more games. Same thing with pitchers that pitch in the World Series and they pitch
Mm-hmm.
like like starting pitchers pitch 3 games and maybe they came out
Right.
the relief pitcher.
Yes.
That next season, he ain't gonna be no good. He ain't gonna be no good. He gonna have arm trouble somewhere through the season because of as innings he throw. Same thing with basketball players. Your legs. I don't care if you work out during the summer.
Right.
You extended your body longer than normal.
Mhm.
So when you come back that following season,
You hurt.
right, you're gonna get to a point like you need to shut it down a little bit because you hurt.
Right.
You
right.
feeling it.
I mean, but then you got guys that we won't say any names because I know it's not one of coach's favorites, but guys that go to the finals like 7 and 8 times, or like you know what I mean?
But it
Like
ain't-
they're
but it-
playing in the summertime,
Yeah, but it ain't
older
just
than
them.
everybody
They
else
have
on the
other
court.
guys that's able to
Take the
they got-
pill. Take the pill. You didn't give enough pills.
I gave him some.
You gave him 2.
Oh,
You need 2.
Well, okay, well then I got a rebuttal to that.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
He ain't winning.
He
He
there
ain't
though.
winning.
He there. He done been there more times
So
than the
what?
Knicks franchise.
Stop.
Who
He's-
cares about?
He's,
who
he's
cares
stat
how many
padding right now, right, Kurt? He's stat padding
Oh,
right
that's
now.
what he's doing now. Anyway, that's what he's doing.
Stat
You don't think so?
padding.
No.
Stat
Why is he still
padding.
playing?
Listen.
Why is he still playing?
Padding.
Listen.
He's
The
got
man
that
still got
40
the
years
drive
old.
to want to
What
win.
drive? You watched it.
He
If you
want
watch,
to win.
they got their ass kicked yesterday. I watched the game and shit.
So is that him? Is he not the one out there overperforming all these young boys? I mean, let's keep it a buck.
I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest.
I mean,
Come
You
on
gotta-
now. Don't sit there and
you
say
gotta-
you're
he's
the
40.
You got a 40-year-old man averaging 24 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds a game, but he's stat padding.
He is that bad.
And then you got young boys who ain't touching them stats nowhere near it,
thank you.
but they not stat padding because they
They
just
can't-
No, I
can't
didn't
stat
say.
pad.
Wait.
They
They
can't
can't
do
do
it.
it. They can't do
wait.
it.
They
They
can't
can't.
stand
Did I
that.
say he wasn't good?
Yo,
I didn't say he wasn't good.
I don't
He
know,
is
Coach.
stat pad because he don't play the whole game. I watch games, and he takes a lot of plays off on defense.
He's
And
playing
he's
35
40
minutes
years
a
old.
game.
He's still taking plays. Y'all don't watch the games.
I love that statement.
He
That's
he
my
takes
statement.
he
Y'all
Wait,
don't
takes
watch
take
the
plays off?
No,
Yo,
y'all don't watch the
Yo,
game.
I seen it where he stand like his man is outside the 3-point line. So he's standing there looking. The guy come drive on his side. What you're supposed to do, you're not ball side, you're not supposed to leave your man, but you are supposed to dig. Like
right.
and he'll just stand there and he won't
Let
move
him, let him
and
olay.
let the guy drive. And
Olay.
then that exactly. The guy make a layup and then he's pointing at this guy.
Oh,
But
my
you know
He
what?
do this. This is what he do. He can
Not for not.
he do that.
Does that not sound like 90% of the NBA players in the league who don't play defense?
Oh my goodness.
I'm talking
Hold on,
about
hold on,
us. Right.
hold on, hold on.
You can't sit
Hold on,
there and
hold on,
boast
sir.
that I'm the greatest of all time.
Kurt, did you just describe Cam Thomas?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Cam, you can't put him in his class.
No, I'm just saying with the old lady.
No, I take nothing away
No, the
from
Ole
LeBron.
defense and the stat pattern
And the
because
stat pattern,
he's a stat pattern.
Right. And how many years that they've been talking about getting a bona fide point guard? When they get a point guard, who's going to handle the ball?
LeBron.
Right. So what do you want a point guard for?
Let me ask you, but wait.
What do
So
you
when
need
he
a point
when he
guard?
went and played in USA basketball, was he stat padding then?
No.
I mean, I'm just asking.
No.
You know why?
You
Because
got guys just as good as him out there.
but who's the leader?
What do you mean who's the
Who
leader?
was
Out of the group.
when he was there in the Olympics with everybody else? Who do they defer to?
Curry?
Who
Who won those games for
I was
them?
going to say
It was
Steph.
Curry.
I was going to say Steph in a little.
Steph won them games for
Listen,
him. It wasn't him.
Listen, did y'all really watch
I
Olympic
watched the
bad?
game.
Did they
Yes,
watch
I did.
Yeah,
So
LeBron,
Steph Curry was doing good the whole time?
LeBron,
The-
right.
the-
the
Not
reason
whole
first
time.
couple of
Not the whole
rounds-
time.
LeBron played well.
Right.
The first couple of rounds. After
Steph-
that,
Steph-
Curry
Steph-
pulled those games off for
Yo,
them.
but that's the thing. Who at the end of the day, who are they looking at? First off,
Because of the name.
Steph Curry didn't have real good
Like, he
games.
didn't have good
I
games.
think his
He had a
last
few
the
good
last
games.
two
You know
what?
games.
You
Right.
said because of the name. That could be true if you're playing with a bunch of scrubs. But when you're playing with the world's greatest players, why would your name make a difference?
Come on, coach.
Wait, you,
Come
hey,
on,
what?
coach.
You saying that they deferred to him because he's LeBron James. You're Kevin Durant. You're Anthony Edwards. You're Anthony
Steph
Davis.
Curry.
You're
Embiid.
Steph Curry. You're Embiid. Why are you deferring to LeBron
Because he's
unless
been-
he's
because he's
earned that
playing.
respect?
He's
I didn't say he
earned it.
didn't, but he's been
No,
playing
but
a
you
long
trying to
time.
act like he a scrub.
I never said he was a scrub.
So
I
wait,
never
I
said
gotta
that.
say this though.
I
Oh,
never
you might
said-
as well, Lo.
You
I
might
said
as
he's
well say
stat
he is
padding
scrub.
now. He is stat padding now. He
How
is
can
doing
you-
that.
I gotta get
The
Kareem.
Lakers
I gotta
ain't
get that.
winning
I
this
gotta
year,
get
so
that
he's
all
stat
scoring
padding.
record.
The Lakers haven't been relevant
Untouchable.
for the
They-
last
they
couple
in the-
Unreachable.
They in the sixth. They
No,
they
they're
the
not. They
sixth
lost
seed.
yesterday. They're in the 7th seed. They lost yesterday.
Hey, you really keeping up with it.
I watch
I don't
basketball.
know. I'm looking right at it. Look, they got
They
it in the
lost
sixth
to the
seed. I could
Clippers
be wrong,
yesterday.
God.
Ain't the
You got
Clippers
that-
The
ahead?
Clippers is in fifth. But I gotta say at the like
I've
how,
been hearing
you
this
know who I
from,
didn't understand sticking around and even then if the player feels that he can do it and somebody's gonna sign him, who are we to say you need to be out the league? Vince Carter stayed around for 20 seasons.
Vince
There
Carter
was some-
wasn't that good at the end of his career.
right, but they felt there was some sort of value
Vince
there.
Carter,
that kept
I'm
him
gonna
there.
throw that. Vince Carter shouldn't be a Hall of Fame.
So
player.
now
Hey,
No,
hey,
no,
yo,
he's
no.
shooting now.
No, he's not. Other than
Bang, bang.
dunk. Okay, all right. Let's go there.
Bang
other,
bang.
Other than the dunk contest, what was Vince Carter known for?
But hold
What'd he
on,
do?
hold on.
What did he
Bang
do?
bang.
What did he do?
So when you bring, see, this is what I'm saying.
He take his team anywhere?
We've had this.
As he's
Hold
taking
on,
his
Kurt.
team anywhere.
Hold on, Kurt. We've had this conversation,
Okay.
and I was bringing up because you ain't been to these conversations.
Hey, I
When we-
seen him.
when I be adding the college game with the NBA
fuck-
game and the
He
body
wasn't that
of
great
work.
in college either,
No, I'm
man.
just
Stop
saying,
that,
and the
man.
body- I
Stop
know.
that. Where ain't taking
I'm
no
just saying,
Carolina at?
And because I'm comparing, I'm comparing them to Carmelo. You know what I'm saying? As
Okay.
of right now.
Right?
So the debate is, should Carmelo be going in? Carmelo and Vince both deserve to go in.
No, they don't. No, they don't. What's Carmelo's how
They
many
got a
points?
long-
How many points he scored?
Hold on.
How many
Let me
Carmelo
ask you
scored?
this.
How many points
Let me
Carmelo
say
scored?
this first.
Go ahead.
Let me ask this first.
Go ahead.
Is there players in the Hall of Fame with less stats than those two?
Huh?
Is there NBA players in the Hall of Fame right now, basketball players, not
Right.
NBA, with worse stats than Carmelo and Vince?
Probably so.
Yeah, so then they deserve to go in too.
Well, some of those guys shouldn't be in there either.
But what
but
I'm saying
if
is they're
they-
in there. This is what I'm saying. They're in there. How can you
All right,
not? How can
answer
you
my
not-
question. Let me stop again. Answer my question.
And I don't know. Hold on. I don't know all of Vince's accolades neither.
There's only dunk contests. Ain't no other accolades.
might
He ain't
have
led the league in scoring.
What's
He
his
ain't take no
accolades?
team
What's his
nowhere.
accolades?
I don't know, but
He ain't been no
I
MVP.
know Carmelo's number 10 all time on the scoring list.
That says a lot.
And where's Vince Carter?
Carter's 22.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
All right,
What's-
scratch that off the
What's-
list right
what's-
there.
What's his?
Scratch it.
22
What's his?
out of 8,000 plays.
How long he
And you
played?
scratching
How
the
long he
league.
played?
You can't
How
do
long he
that.
played? He played
Well,
20
who's
seasons
in the
too,
Hall of
right?
Fame with less? That's what I'm
He
saying.
played 20 seasons.
You know-
Vince Jackson in the Hall of Fame.
He
with
getting those
less.
because he played
points than
20
they got?
seasons.
Yeah, but
That's less
Reggie
everything.
Miller got less than him.
But who would you take? Who would you say is more qualified?
Reggie Miller, Jerry West.
Who would you say is more
Who you
qualified?
Alex
for the-
English got less than him. Patrick Ewing got less than him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all those dudes carried their teams.
Jerry West has less than him. Ray Allen had less than him.
Right. See, so yeah, that's
Allen-
what I'm,
I don't
that's
think
what
Ray
I'm-
Allen's an MVP.
Allen Iverson,
I mean,
had,
not Hall of
Allen
Fame.
Iverson had less than him.
I don't think.
Charles Barkley got less points than him.
Come on, bro.
Robert Parrish, Adrian Dantley.
How many seasons did
Elgin
they play?
Baylor.
No,
I mean,
see, y'all,
you listen. You're
No,
not
they're
gonna
flipping
reach
it.
those. You're not gonna reach those heights without getting 15 plus, though.
right? That's what I'm
Michael
saying.
Jordan. How long did Michael Jordan's career last? Let's be honest. 16, 17.
He played 15 seasons.
He played 15 seasons,
Remember, he took 2 breaks.
and he's number
Right.
and he's number 5.
Right.
Well, he
He's
averaged
number
30
5.
a game.
Right. Right.
So,
At the end of the day, they wasn't asking him to pass the ball. They wasn't asking him to
Ask
rebound the
him to
ball.
score. He's a scorer.
You need to score. LeBron is 40, 10, and 10. He's 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. You can't knock that, coach.
I do agree that
You
he's
can't
stat
knock
padded
that.
now, though.
You can't.
40
He's
years
still
old,
in
man.
command.
I gotta make sure
When
that
it
these
come
points
down
are
to it,
unreachable.
You didn't get it done.
So
You didn't get it. No, I'm talking about finals and shit. You didn't get it done.
He got 4 rings. What do you mean?
I'm
So
just-
does
I'm
Curry.
just saying.
Okay.
So
I'm
what?
just saying.
Doesn't mean it doesn't take away from their greatness.
As great as Kareem was, he couldn't stat Pat like that
I
at 40.
will say he do want to win another ring. He is chasing another ring.
Of course, but he ain't gonna get it.
Right. He is chasing another ring.
He's not
I'm
gonna
not
get it.
mad at that though.
I'm not mad at it either.
I'm not mad at that. Like when you really think about
But I
this,
am gonna say that look, I got Kareem record now. I'm gonna make it take it this much further up.
but physically he can. Let's be honest out here.
Mhm.
Yo, the other day, who was it that threw him the alley-oop and he just was like, yo, nah, I can't do this no more. That was the first time I ever seen LeBron really
He slammed on the Nets.
right. He dunked on home. That's what I'm saying. Yo, he out here really dunking. Let's keep it a buck. Vince Carter wasn't dunking no more. Vince Carter was like, nah, I'm gonna just lay this up. Even if he open. Yo, LeBron is out here throwing it down. Come on, physically. He's stat pad. No, he'd be stat padding if he just basket hung every day. He don't be he be in the mix.
Y'all stay on
I
him if
don't
y'all
know.
want.
Come on, bro.
I jumped off that long time.
Come on, bro. Y'all gotta
Long
stop.
time.
At the end of the day, what young boy look like they even ready to take him down? Let's keep it a buck. And that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, that's what it is. No, none of these dudes want to be the great one. None of them. None of them. Anthony
They
Edwards.
too busy,
it ain't-
too busy taking threes.
Cooper Flag.
Look.
Yeah, okay.
He's
He ain't gonna make that much of a
Next face
difference.
of the
in-
NBA, but look, let's
He's
stay,
a good
let's stay
player,
on
but
LeBron.
he
Let's
ain't
stay
gonna
on
make
LeBron.
no next
Let's stay on LeBron. Let's
He
stay
ain't
on
making
LeBron.
no
Let's
next
stay on
player.
LeBron.
And I'm gonna say this to that: as good as he is, I believe Ace Bailey is still better than Cooper Flag.
Okay.
You know who
Are we
Ace,
staying
you
on
know who
LeBron?
Ace, you know
Are
who
we staying
Ace
on
Bailey
LeBron or
remind me
not?
of? Ace Bailey remind me of Len Bias when he was at Maryland.
Mm.
That's how good
That's
this
saying a
kid
lot.
is. It is saying a lot,
That's
but
saying
that's
a
how
lot.
good he is. He's got the shot. He's
Mhm.
got the athleticism. He's got the hustle. The kid looks like he's going to be a star. He really does. Cooper Flag does too, but I honestly believe in the long term, Ace Bailey's going to be better than Cooper Flag.
I think
The only reason Cooper Flag, we all know,
The face of the NBA.
right, Great White Hope. He is.
Yeah, I know they
Yeah.
would like for that. To
They
happen.
would love that. They
They
would
would
love that.
I think at the end of the day, man, like I said, like
Basketball player who's white, who's not foreign, that could be a star.
that could be a star.
Because most of the ones now, they foreigners.
And
So
and
as much as they
Right.
want to embrace them, they don't embrace them because they're not American born.
American
Right.
born.
and then even the ones that are here, it's like they don't want it. They
That's
don't
what you was
want
talking
it.
Right.
They want to get paid.
Anthony Edwards, like, don't get me
busy
wrong,
shooting
man.
threes,
Last
like
year
Coach said.
playoffs, oh, he looked like Mike. He looked like Jordan.
That's the media hyping him.
Yeah,
up.
but at the end
Right.
of the day, he still could be the man. All of them have the tools.
Yeah, but
all
you-
of them
right.
have the know-how.
But
They
you have to
the,
keep. You have to keep taking that next level every year. You got to change it, add something to
They
your
don't have
game,
that Kobe
and they
Bryant
not
drive.
doing it. They
So
not
so
doing
so
it.
this is why
Wait. Thank you. 'Cause I know exactly what you're going to say, Post. This is exactly why
Uh-huh.
LeBron James is at the level he is, because every year he's still trying to
He's still
improve.
pushing.
He's
Right.
pushing hard.
Wait a minute, hold on.
He's
What
not-
has he improved in?
His
What has
jump
he improved?
shot.
He do the same thing.
His jump shot.
No,
he
his
do
jump
the
shot
same.
is so-
You're right.
so-
He do the same
Shout out to
thing.
everybody
Jump
tuned
shot
in
is-
paying
You know what he
attention.
does?
I don't know
what
if y'all
he does?
hearing
He
it.
does greatness. That's what he does.
Well,
he does greatness.
You're telling me that he's improved his game every year. What has he done?
His jump shot hasn't gotten better. His jump shot has gotten better since he got in the league.
Yeah, he's gotten better. Since
There
he got
we
in the league.
go.
But it's still suspect.
He's still not physically capable of dunking on anybody out there.
He never had a handle.
Is he still missing free
He
throws?
just no.
Is he
never
still
had a
missing
handle.
free throws
He do
during
the same
crunch time
thing.
in the game?
Do the same thing, but because he was so
Come on, Post.
athletic.
Talk to me, Post.
What's he saying?
Listen, he
I
said he's
said,
still
does he
missing
still
free
miss
throws
free
at
throws
crunch
in-
time.
Right.
First and
Right,
foremost,
he do.
he'd be the reason the teams
Yo,
beat in crunch time.
He shot 3 air balls right in front of the rim yesterday's game. I'm sitting there watching it. He kept grabbing the rebound, went up, and it hit the front of the rim. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? You 6'8", 6'9". What the hell are you doing?
Right to the Duncan.
Come on.
And then,
Duncan spot.
then he got the ball. He missed the free throw, right?
Yo,
and
yo,
he
I'm
went out the game.
I'm sorry, yo. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
don't expect
listening.
y'all to agree with
I'm
me.
listening. No, I'm listening, and I'm just looking, and I'm just like, I don't see it. I don't see it. Stat
what?
pad.
All you got to do
He
is
said
go
that.
on social media
Uh-huh.
and you'll see this argument every day.
Right.
There's a
group of
1,000 million LeBron haters,
Right.
Yes.
and then you got the ones who look at LeBron and like LeBron.
Right.
And the thing that this reminds me of is back in the 90s,
Jordan.
every Knicks fan I knew
Hated
hated him.
He always get
But
the call.
now
They
they
love.
talk to right,
But
they
you
love him
respect
to death.
But you respected him.
We got a caller. We got a caller.
LeBron haters slash Jordan lovers. That's what you should have
Oh,
said.
man, here we go.
LeBron haters slash Jordan lovers.
Isn't it the same thing?
You ain't lying. Play it one more time. Who we
First stop
got?
to the next step. Who we got here?
There's usually
Oh, I don't know who we got there. Coach Kirk.
Shut
Yo,
up.
what's up?
Dave, what's going on, Dave?
What's up, man?
What up, Coach? I got one question for y'all.
Let's go.
Did Coach Kirk give out his LeBron hater pills today? Because I'm really confused.
He didn't give enough to Post. That's a problem. He should have gave Post the whole bag.
Yeah, 'cause-
I gave it to him, but Post was giving me back roses and shit, man.
Oh my goodness! Oh my
Yo,
goodness!
Post,
So let me
I need
understand
you in that
something.
seat
Moving
every time the
forward
show
for
is on,
next week
Post.
in the showdown, who do you
I
guys
need
like?
you, Post. You gotta back
hold
me
on.
up.
Dave asked a question. Dave
What you
asked a
say,
question.
Dave?
I said in the showdown next weekend. Who do you guys have? Washington or Philly?
Ooh,
I'm taking what?
I'm taking Philly.
I'm taking Philly.
I gotta take Philly because I just feel like Saquon is the X factor. Who you taking?
I'm taking Philly.
Who you taking, sir?
Philly.
I'm taking Philly because of Saquon and because my man goes for fourth down every doggone drive.
Yo, they don't play them games. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Oh, well, let me shout out being the Magnificent because I'm pretty sure the Magnificent locked in with Washington.
Yeah, I know you taking that. I know Todd's taking
He's not gonna go against his team.
No, he stuck with them all year.
So
All right, so in the other game, Buffalo or Kansas City?
Were you writing this down, man, or something? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Man?
so
Of course I am.
I gotta say this, right? Before we even do the pick, Buffalo versus Kansas City. I mean, these dudes done played each other so many times, and it's like Kansas City always give them what they be asking for, man. So I gotta say Kansas City. It's hard for me to go and pick Josh Allen. I know he's playing lights out, but Kansas City don't mess up. That's exactly what Serge was saying. I gotta go with Kansas City.
Me too. Me
Third.
too.
Y'all know I
Well, what
texted yesterday. I need Buffalo to get to the Super Bowl. So I cannot go against my own money.
I'm going with-
sorry.
I'm going with KC.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
follow the
I
money.
think I'll go with KC too on that. I think y'all about got it right. I understand you, Serge.
Yeah, all
It's a money
your
thing.
haters don't want me to make no money. I get it. That's all right though. It's all good.
I'm going with KC
I
because
get
they're
it.
at
I
home.
get it.
If they
I
wasn't at
understand.
home, I wouldn't go
I
with
agree. I agree with you 100%. But I'm worried about Kansas City not turning over this time. I think they're gonna handle their business because they're home.
Oh, shout
Well, I think-
to Todd, the Magnificent. He said the Commanders and Buffalo.
Right, I know Tom's
He
gonna
put
say
his
the-
picks in there.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you. I knew I had one of y'all on my side to make some money with. Thank you.
I knew Tom was going with the Commanders, but I don't know about Buffalo. But good luck,
think-
brother.
I think-
I wish you luck, Serge.
Everybody's sick of Kansas City winning, and especially if they win because they got a call.
Oh,
if that
yeah.
game is tight and they get a call, you're gonna really hear it. Because like I said, you go to social media, all everybody's talking about is the referees are helping Kansas City win. That's
Yes.
all you see.
Well, I want to see, like you said, like he said earlier, I want to see the brother get a 3-peat.
I do kind of want to see Patrick Mahomes get his, but I do want to see him earn it. I don't want to see him get it off no call because you don't want no asterisk next to nothing. You want to see him get what he worked for. But I will say though, Buffalo is going to take more than Josh Allen to get it done. That's my only thing, and I don't know if they have that. You know what I mean? Whereas though Patrick Mahomes, he's been in these situations so many times, man. It's like he's not afraid of it at all. So gotta look out for that, man. I gotta say, I think it's gonna be my Super Bowl picks are still the same. Philly versus Kansas City. That's always been my picks. I feel like that don't change, but I do feel like if they make it to the Super Bowl, I feel like Saquon is letting it hang out after that. Pause.
So you call that a giant Philly Super Bowl or for the NFC?
Oh no, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Every Giants fan is gonna be wearing the Eagles jersey. That I'm telling you. That's the one time. That's it. After that, he's gonna be a Eagle for life, and I can no longer root for him. But this season, I can't front. I'm rooting for him. I want to see him get it because they did him dirty. I'll never forget. They'll never get forgiveness from me as a fan for this. Never. I'm sorry.
Right on. Well, it was great talking to you guys, man. I appreciate the love. Shout out to everybody out there in TV land listening. And Coach Kurt, hand out them hater pills.
I ran out to say, man. I gave them all out.
Ran out.
The only one who swallowed
I
him
appreciate
today
you
was
guys
Mongo.
holding it down. All right, I'll be back next week. So I hope you could join us both when you're free.
I try, man. You know, I try my hardest, man. I will.
All right, no doubt. Thank you so much, man.
All right.
Peace.
Appreciate y'all, man. Have a good show. Take care.
Later.
All right.
That's very interesting, man. Side note: Boston Celtics is expected to exceed $6 billion with a sale. Whoop.
6 billion. Wow.
Whoop. That's a big deal. That's a big
They
deal.
in the top 5, right? Aren't they top 5?
Are they?
No, they're not.
They not?
I think it's
Who's that?
as far as
Network,
valuable
franchise.
I
franchise.
don't think they are.
Who?
I think
The Celtics. They
I
not.
think it's the
I
Knicks.
don't think. I know
I
the
know
Knicks,
Knicks is
Golden
there. I know
Golden
State,
Nets is
State,
there. I know
Dallas.
Lakers.
Dallas. The
The
Lakers
Lakers.
are up there.
Yankees.
No, I'm talking about
Oh, you
straight
talk-
NBA. I'm talking
NBA.
about NBA.
NBA.
I don't think they
Let me
are
look 'em up.
because I was looking that up the other day. I don't think they're in the top 5.
But
They
$6
might be.
billion, though, I would buy the Boston
NBA
Celtics for $6 billion
franchise.
Yeah, I would too. If I got that kind of money.
because it definitely would be worth it, man.
Mhm.
I will say, shout to
I
John
think
Green,
they up
man.
there because they got all them rings. They a storied franchise. I believe they're right there.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Boston's number 4.
Boston's
Okay,
number 4.
Top 5.
Shout to John
Was
Green.
it Golden State, the Knicks.
Golden State, the Knicks, and the Lakers.
As soon as Curry retires, that's going down.
Well, yeah,
It's going down.
unless they could bring somebody else in. But
Another
Curry,
superstar.
he was the game changer for
Right.
them, man. He helped them. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? At the end of the day,
Yeah,
a lot of people didn't see that coming from him as a draft pick.
Yeah.
If you see his draft status and like
They thought he was too small.
they couldn't play
And he's
defense.
still not a point guard. I don't care
Right,
what
right.
anybody.
And he still can't play defense.
Right. He can't play defense, and he's not a point guard.
I will always say this. There was reasoning behind Kyrie hitting that jump shot on Steph Curry the way he did.
They made him switch.
They purposely made him switch
Made
and
him
left him on the
switch.
island purposely.
Yep.
And if you notice, Damian Lillard used to, when they
Light him
used to
up.
play the Blazers,
Yep.
light him up.
Mhm.
And that's when I knew I was
You
like, oh,
said he used to get blazed?
yeah,
Yeah, that was a good one.
literally.
That was a good one, man.
Literally.
That was a good one, man.
I will say, Steph Curry, he's always been suspect on defense. However, though, the jump shot has remained like impeccable.
Wait,
Oh, yeah, ain't
real
changed.
quick. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
And we didn't do this. Happy Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
How did we forget that?
we
Yo,
did not.
You got something?
Because we still here. Happy Martin Luther King Day to everybody, man. You gotta
We
remember-
are so sorry for not doing that earlier.
Yep. We appreciate everybody. We apologize for that. But happy Martin Luther King Day. We gonna call and I hate to say Martin Luther King birthday. No, Martin Luther King Day.
Right.
Let's
Day.
leave it at that.
Right.
Martin Luther King Day. Shout out to everybody who rocked with us. Guys, you had something you wanted to say over there,
You
brother?
was talking right. What you saying something?
If I was, I forgot what it was. After I got my message about Martin Luther King. it threw
No,
me
you
off
brought up
completely.
Steph Curry's shot.
Nah, his shot has always remained the truth. At the end of the day,
Oh.
you know,
he struggles at times, but
You know,
for the most part,
He's on the downside, though.
But you know
Like,
what?
how you say,
He
he's
ain't
not stat
He's
pad.
not where
As-
Klay
as-
Thompson.
as-
He's not where
as
Klay
good as he
Thompson
is,
would be.
he's the reason that the NBA is what it is right now.
Yes.
Because everybody wants to be Steph.
Yes.
Everybody
Right.
wants to shoot the 40-footer.
Right, the 50-footer.
My grandson, since he was 4 years old, his whole thing has been, can I shoot a three-pointer? He can't make a layup sometimes, but he wants to shoot that three-pointer because Steph Curry is his favorite player.
Yeah.
And there's a million kids out there who all want to be Steph Curry.
You know what? They got to see the downside to it. And even Pat Riley
What's
should
the
say the
downside?
3-point is fool's gold.
But what's the not for him? That's
Yeah,
the whole
not
thing.
for him.
Not for him.
See,
For
and-
most guys, yes. But for Steph, you expect him to hit 4 or 5 3-pointers a game.
I can't lie.
If he doesn't, you're like, yeah, he had a bad game.
I seen him shoot from places that I'm like, that's
and
a
that's
bad
the
shot.
problem right there.
But it goes.
But
and it's
that's
like,
the problem.
For him.
Him and
Right.
Dame Lillard.
Right.
Between
Right.
the two of them.
And not
Right.
even Dame Lillard loud lately,
Right.
you know.
No,
Right.
not
Right.
now.
Right now. But for him, yes. But 90% of the people can't shoot like him.
No,
Steve
they
Kerr
can't,
said
but they
it.
think they can. In their head, they think they Steph Curry.
Steve Kerr said when he first was doing it, he was totally, he like, yo, what are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But now you got the green light.
Yeah.
Shoot anywhere you want.
I
Got
will.
the green light. He don't made them the most expensive
Right.
franchise in basketball
Right.
That's
And he
it.
makes them shots.
because of those jerseys.
And that's the thing. He makes those shots. And not for nothing, he made it when it counted too.
Yeah.
We ain't just talking about
It's
like,
true.
no, 3 seconds on the clock
Right,
is
right.
like his shooting percentage go up 100%.
Yes.
Don't let him shoot. And he was shooting from half court.
And he
Yes.
shoot and turn around on you.
Yeah.
Like
Right. Before the ball go in.
he's already turned around, going down court
Right.
because he knows it's in.
Oh
Before he go, and he's
And now
done
you
that. And he's done that multiple times.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is the reason why you have a Victor Wembanyama, why you have these tall guys that have no business
Being
further than
outside.
3 feet from the basket
But they out
shooting 3-pointers because they, even in their mind, as big as they are, they want to be Steph Curry.
And that's a fact.
And that is what the only thing that bothers me about Steph. He's a great player,
Mhm.
but as far as I'm concerned, he ruined the NBA
But he
because of the 3-point shot.
you
And
know,
the way these guys shoot it.
you get those
Like,
players every
The
now and
Nets,
again.
they got to put up 40 a game.
Yeah.
You got to put up 40.
Huh?
And they're not even the top
Yep.
one
And
in the
I'm
league
seeing-
shooting 3-pointers.
And I'm looking at stat sheets now, and I'm seeing a few teams putting up 50.
50.
50.
53
You
pointers.
like that stuff.
No, I don't like
No,
50.
Hey, what's Nee saying? Like the Nets
No.
should shoot more
I
threes
said
and stuff
no.
like
I
that?
said
He
30.
said they need more mid-range too.
Right,
Yeah.
3-point
But they don't-
shots.
but they
around
still-
35.
it's-
I'm
it's
still
still-
saying that all
It's
season. Curry. What
funny
you
because
talking
no,
about?
it's funny because the same philosophy that Jordy Fernandez has
Right.
is the same philosophy that the guy he
Got
can't
Kenny
stand
Kenny Atkinson.
got
Kenny
kicked out
Atkinson,
for
right.
had.
Right,
They were shooting 43 a game
Right.
Yeah, he
too.
was. Right.
right.
But
we
according to
are-
him, that was terrible.
But we
Now-
are the number
Now
one.
they're
It's all right.
competitive.
But now we the number
Maybe
one.
because a few more is dropping.
We're
Is that
number.
why?
We're the number one mid-range shooting team in the league.
You know what I will say though?
So
It's-
look that up.
How's that helping y'all?
you think about the
Well,
way
we
the
tanking
league
right now.
transcended.
But how's it helping y'all?
You think about
We're
the-
tanking right now. It doesn't help us. We're tanking.
Who tanking?
Oh,
You-
damn.
Nets.
Oh,
If I listen
No.
to you on
Not for nothing,
the
but
messages,
My
you ain't
wife
taking.
is
He's
producing
saying
the show
yeah,
now.
you
She's saying it's 6:29. Time to say
Yeah,
goodbye.
up, time to wrap it up.
Love you,
Yeah,
honey.
we
We're about
said
to
we
keep talking.
tanking now. Look.
We about to
We
keep
done got
talking.
we done got
Tell
into it a
wifey,
little too
thank
much.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
baby.
wifey.
Thank you.
All right. With that being said, shout to everybody who tuned in, who rocked with us today. First stop to the next stop. Beer the ones just stepping in, but you got Coach K in the building over here, which is tremendous. You got Serge, the sports star, Silk the relic,
Slick the relic, the
Slick
living
the
fossil.
Oh, Silk.
You guys ain't the first one. You guys ain't the first ones.
And with that being said, until next week, y'all.
Hey.
Let's get it.